Welcome back, YouTube.
Hail the dead. How may I serve you, sojourner?
Yeah, I need to go back to where I fell. I am sorry, sojourner. You are now barred from the world of Toril. I cannot comply. Huh? Who says I'm barred from there? You are barred from returning to that world by the command of Mephisto. I am sorry, sojourner. It is Mephistopheles who rules here, and so he commands me. Ah. So you've been working for Meph all along. Uh-huh. He uses me as he uses all things, such as his nature. I was not always his subject, but once he learned of my true name, I was his forever. But he's not here to command you. Nor does he need to be. As I said, the Archdevil commanded me with his true name. I cannot choose to disobey, even if he is no longer present. All beings have a true name. That is the definition of their personal essence, their very existence. Should another learn your true name and speak it to you, then they rule all that you are. Mephistopheles discovered my true name long ago, though I do not know how. Only he knows it, so he alone commands me despite whatever I might wish. He used you as well, creating a devil's deal that you were unaware of. A bond was formed with him the moment you discovered his relic, and upon killing the one who held him captive, you took his place, and he yours. I should destroy you for betraying me. So hang on, so I'm stuck here forever? Through your bond, you have assumed the chains that one held him. So, as he was once bound to the realm of Cania, so now are you. His prison has become yours. Cania is the eighth hell of Baiator, the frozen wastes and the dreaded depths. Here Mephistopheles is lord of all and prisoner both, or he was, until he slipped his chains and placed them on you. But I'm not in Cania, am I? You forget, this realm is all places as well as none. We exist in Cania, just as everywhere else, part of your prison just as not. However, that path leads to Cania. It always has. It's always been a part of you since the bond was created. It is no longer barred to your passing. Is there nothing you can do to help me, Reaper? Alas, I cannot. I have been commanded by Mephistopheles not to allow you to return to Toril, and you no longer possess his relic. If you learned my true name, you could command me to break the bond between you and return you to Toril. I don't know how you'd learn it, however, and I cannot tell you. Huh. Okay. You almost sound as if you'd prefer to betray Mephistopheles. I cannot openly betray the one who holds my true name. There is a mirror of a smile on his face. Huh. Are you worried I might abuse your true name? Abuse it more than the Archdevil himself already has? I think not. Alright, I must go then. So this is the last bit of lore we have to discuss here when it comes to this game. True names. There's actually some differing, weird. Yeah, there we go. There's some differing sources for exactly how the true names came into being. Apparently not. But the most common one is that the true names were designed by the gods, that is to say the deities. Well, okay, let me take that back a step, actually. The true names were probably designed by Ao himself, but the deities themselves used them as a way to enforce their will. Because the way true name magic works... Why is this not letting me through here? There we go. Is exactly as he described it. If you have someone's true name, you have total and absolute power over them. To a ridiculous degree. To a degree most people, like we're talking beyond mind control. That's how much power. Yeah, exactly, as a failsafe. We know the deities put it into place in one way or another. It's a way to make sure that, no matter what happens, the mortals can't pass their control. The catch is that the true names themselves kind of fell out of their knowledge. So there are still ways to discover true names, but they are rare and very, very difficult to do. So, in general, it's not actually an option anymore. However, the system still exists. Now, when I say a true name gives total control, let me explain what I mean. I could walk up to Leander right now if I knew Leander's true name and say, I command you, Leander's son, whatever his true name is, to have the mentality of a chicken from now on. You are forevermore a chicken who firmly believes that you were once a bug. And now you have elevated yourself to a chicken, and now seek to push yourself forward in all things and all ways. You will forevermore be aligned towards good, and you will forevermore think of yourself as nothing better than you are. And basically, I can just re-sculpt you completely and utterly to an absolute degree. It's actually kind of insane. I could completely and utterly change his personality, his soul, and his mind, because I have his true name. So true names are kind of messed up in this setting. Deity, well, I'm assuming, Lycon, that you're asking, do deities have true names? Some of them do, yes. Because, as I said, I'm pretty sure, personally, that Ao is actually the one who set up the whole system as the failsafe. But getting on with my point. Could I give him powers? Yeah. As Mihawk said, I could actually turn him into a chicken. Although it's not an instantaneous thing, but I can make that happen. You are now a wizard, Leander. You are now a wizard with the exact personality of David Hasselhoff. I could do that. It's not even a joke. But yeah, so that's how true name magic works. It is ridiculously powerful, but there is another thing I want to talk about. It's actually not related to true names, sorry. And that's the nature of this whole ploy. So, Mephistopheles, actually, the Reaper, mentioned that Mephistopheles is actually bound to this place, Cania. This is the nature of the rules of the Hells. Each major prince lord of any of their given layers basically allows you to have total control over that layer, effectively as a demiplane, but the catch is they are bound there. Mephisto cannot leave this layer, and honestly I don't remember all the others' names, but there's others, and they can't leave their layers either. They're stuck there. There are ways to bypass that, but that basically requires rules lawyering. Hence I mentioned earlier, the rules magic when it comes to the devils. So he specifically sent off a piece of himself into a place that existed everywhere at the same time, which ended up in the Shadow Realm, which we then got. So now Mephistopheles is still bound here, because we are, in terms of the rules, a piece of Mephistopheles, and he is now free as we once were. So, yay. Oh, also, Leander, really quick. So, what Carbon mentioned is also possible here. It gives the ability to control fate. So that's why I say, for example, if I say, Leander, you are a chicken, he will eventually turn into a chicken, because it's basically his fate now to become a chicken. So in other words, he might be polymorphed into a chicken, or he might slowly turn into a chicken, or whatever. Basically, reality will adjust itself to agree to this new thing. Make sense? Oh, can you use your true name on yourself to make yourself more powerful? To my knowledge, you can't use your true name on yourself at all, no. I haven't heard of any instance of that ever happening, so I'm not aware of anything about that. Anyway, so welcome to Hell. You'll notice we're taking damage just for being here. Seriously, that's actually a thing that's happening. I thought I had something for this, but I guess it doesn't matter, whatever. What I do want to do is I want to talk to a certain...
Once again, you have summoned me more. Of course!
...guy, who will now take stuff for basically full price. Pretty sure it's up to 15,000. We're basically going to sell him a whole bunch of the Dragon's Horde that we just got. Hi, Esther. Because we still need gold. Lots of gold. Those of you who, of course, played this game know exactly why we need that gold. Those of you who have not, don't worry. It'll become clear pretty quickly. Chapter 3 isn't super long. We're just going to keep eating that cold damage. Well, the goal, Venters, if this reminds you, is 2 million gold. keep that for a moment. Yeah. Okay. We're up to 546,000. Yeah, we're nowhere near. So, welcome to Cania. A sad-faced, shimmering form coalesces before you. It is the spirit of the dead banished to Cania, or Cania. If it weren't for the frost that clings to the transparent shape, you doubt you'd be able to see it at all.
Yes.
It's so cold. Always this biting, clawing cold. Stay inside if you can, or step by a fire to warm yourself. See the ones with green sparks? Even they are barely enough. Only a matter of time, you see. I heard one of you scream. Aye, Mephistopheles has that one now. Another soul devoured. Soon there won't be any of us left except the lost. If only we could live again, return home, but it's too cold. I can feel it closing in. Wait, he's devouring souls? Yes, he has an army of the dead in the distant world of Toril, and he's drawing our essence to animate them. He's devoured so much of us as is, and he still needs more. Every one of us in a plume of white. Asmodeus banned the other lords of hell from going there because of the evil sown in that plane can lead to great power. Somehow Mephistopheles found a way, though, and now his power knows no bounds. Dun-dun-dun-dun! Is there a way to stop this devouring? One tried. She was the boldest among us, and the most full of life. She confronted Mephistopheles, and in his anger, he did something to her. It's only a matter of time before she joins the lost. We spirits tend not to use names here. Death has brought us to Cania because of the horrible acts we committed in life. It's better to leave all vestiges of that life behind. It is better to forget. Only when we were lost and our names engraved in the ice for all to know. If we reach that point, it no longer matters. So tell me about the spirit who confronted her. She came here full of anger and passion and hope. She was like a fire in this cold place, and all of us were drawn to her warmth. When Mephistopheles came to the gates to announce the devouring, she challenged him. Whatever he did, he drained her of that fire. Refusing to speak, she sealed herself in that cave at the center of town, and now she dwells within, slowly growing cold, becoming one of the lost. Is there a way to help her? Yes, you can put the poor spirit out of her misery. Thanks to Mephistopheles, she's already all but lost. It's only a matter of time. Hang on. If nobody knows who your name is, who does the engraving in the ice? It's done by a creature called the Scrivener, but now its former guide has been devoured by Mephistopheles. Without anyone to guide the Scrivener, no one knows what will happen. He devoured the guide? Yeah, just another dead soul like the rest of us, but now he's a victim of the devouring. So hang on, who's the Scrivener? I'm not really sure if it's a who or a what. In some ways, it almost seems like a pet more than a person, but its former guide taught it to form simple words, pictures, so who's to say? But for as long as anyone here can remember, the Scriveners have been the ones to carve the names of the lost into the ice. If you look close, the ice is full of them, buried deep. That's how the city got its name. I see. Okay, bye. Nice place. Fun place, really. So yeah, as I mentioned, when you die as an evil person, you don't really get a reward. A lot of these people actually function as slaves to carve out the ice in order to send it off to the city in order to be used as crafting material, basically. You'll also notice there are plenty of different species represented here. Oh my gosh, excuse me. This is a good time as any to mention something that I've been meaning to talk about for a bit now. The planes are literal, as in you're actually in these planes. As in you can physically walk around in them. They have physical rules and gravity and air and all that fun stuff, right? Although exactly how hospitable they are kind of varies. There's a reason we've been taking ice damage bit by bit, and that's because simply being here is so cold that it actually, you know, it would kill a normal person instantly, like within seconds. So there's that. Okay. Now, I thought I had something to deal with that, but I don't, so we're gonna have to just do this the long way. Now, how many of you guys have played Planescape Torment?
Pike off! Pike off! Can't you see I'm busy here? Quarry Grinder 5 just went down. Bloody incompetent filth puppets. This story's closed until I figure out what in the nine hells is going on.
Okay, yeesh. The people who made this game also played Planescape Torment. Now, poik off! Alright, let's go find this grinder. Number 5, specifically. Which is... I don't remember where. So. Exactly, Tacomos. That was what I was referencing. Ah, there it is. So, there's a couple of ways of dealing with this. First, you can feed the imp through the grinder, which fixes it. Or you can try to, you know, dismantle the grinder to free him. We can also wake him, but the imp is slumping peacefully here. No, don't want to go back to work. Please, Master Gruul, anything but more work. Yeah. Nothing going on here. Don't mind me. I'll have Quarry Grinder 5 up again in no time, I promise. Your hand's stuck in the grinder. Ah, do you have to remind me? I'm fine as long as I don't think of it. Ah, as for how I got stuck, I sort of put my hand in it on purpose. Oh, I think I'm gonna faint. You put your hand in the grinder on purpose. Yeah, it seemed like a fine idea at the time. I was really quite sick and tired of all the quarry work, you see. I thought if I stuck my hand in the grinder, I might get a moment's rest. It was quite nice, really. Yeah, but soon Gruul's going to be angry. Oh, definitely, absolutely not a problem. That'll be just dandy, you have my word on that. I'll just get a feel for what's going on down there. It's all under control. It doesn't take long before you have the gear assembly torn apart. The various cogs and belts scatter on the ice before you, and the imp's arm is horribly mangled and he wakes with a start. Oh, my hand, I can feel my hand. Oh, that hurts! Put it back in, for the love of evil, put it back in. Calm down, everything's gonna be alright. Not really fiendish, but I guess yes. It's easy for you to say, you don't have to go back to work. You can't work with your hand like that. Wait, you're right, I can't go to work like this. I'd just be in the way. Oh, I'm a genius. Sloth has set me free. Now I can live a life of one-armed luxury. No more pickaxe, no more ice. Sir, what's your name? I won't be telling you my true name, of course, but everyone here just calls me Lazy. Uh-huh. And you work in the quarry? Sure do. Can't remember a day when I didn't, to be honest. Seems like they always need more ice in the capital. I'm beginning to think it's just a means of keeping us out of trouble, mind you. Oh, that's a tall order, I'll have you know. The Reaper's been here in the Lost Souls longer than everyone, except maybe the Sleeping Man. And the only one who's ever known his true name is probably Mephistopheles. The Sleeping Man? Yeah, the Gith have a thing for him, it seems. Lucky bastards. I'd travel the plains on some harebrained pilgrimage, too, if I ever got a day off. But no, Mephistopheles needs more eyes. He swept through in a hurry to see the Reaper recently. Rumor in the quarry is that he found some way to get to the world of Toril. Everyone gets a holiday but me, it seems. And don't forget to put the grinder back together, mind you. I don't think Gruul will be pleased with the looks of that. Yeah, alright, fine. I'll put it back together. Let's try that again. Nope, we just failed. Well, shoot. What is our int? Our int is 15. No wonder. But yeah, ultimately, I found Planescape more challenging because it required me to actually think and pay attention, even though the combat itself was relatively simple and almost entirely optional.
Pike off! What part of pike off don't you understand? Gibbering buzzards! How many times do I have to tell you that this store is closed until Quarry Grinder 5 is back in operation?
Hang on, I know what's the matter. So what is it? I dismantled your grinder. You motherless, ass-picking, half-witted clump of a meaningless flea bait! You venomous turkey gobbler! There was an imp caught in it. There's always an imp caught in it. Hell's breath. Every day it seems I have to go down there and feed another imp through. Imps are dime a dozen, but I only got one Quarry Grinder 5, you hear me? You feed them through? Horrible. Nonsense, that's commerce. Snot-buggered fiscal utopians. Have you got a better suggestion? Quarry Grinder 5 is down, and, while it is, idle hands of the devil's playground. Playground's the last thing we need. Playgrounds lead to joy, laughter, children. I don't even want to think about it. We're devils, understood? Hard, mean, tough, fangs, horde. You know the drill. Okay, I can pay for it. You can and you will. Stupid skulldragger. It's going to cost me 35,000 gold to get a specialist. Another 15 for parts. You got 50,000 gold kicking around? Yeah, actually I do. Doing his best to avoid eye contact, the quarry boss tries to straighten a stack of papers on his desk. His claws get in the way, however, scatting them all over again.
I suppose you're expecting a thank you card, aren't you? Coal black pimple on a claprazoo, now pike off!
But I want to buy something. I bartered the latest shipment of ice for some goods from the capital. The Gith lightened their load with me, too. And then some damn fool spirits keep pawning off their limbs. Have a look around. Okay, jeez. So unpleasant. Ooh, Eyes of Petrification. Not really, Takamos. It makes them more relatable. Where is it? By the way, this guy sells the really good stuff. That's a +9 amulet right there. This thing gives you +6 disable traps, lore, open lock, persuade, search, and 16 spell resistance. This is basically the best gear in the game that you can purchase right here. And that makes sense because this is basically the end of the game. So, you know, logic. +10 agility. What was that one? +10 armor on bracers. All sorts of stuff here. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually sell what I really want. So we're just going to leave now. Well, that's dealt with. Let's head over here. To the tavern! I might want to turn invincibility back on so I don't die out here. Oh. I'm going to need to be grabbing these. I forgot about that. One moment, guys. Sorry. Hello? And we're back. So there's the Scrivener. I pet the creature. It nuzzles your hand, grateful for the attention. Are you the Scrivener? What's the matter, little fellow? Who is she? She's in the cave? How can I help? Okay. To which stone do you want me to take you to? boy held in a man's arms. A family resemblance between them and the father. Alright, let's go then, Scrivener. We now have a freaking... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. This thing as part of our party. That's... I mean, we're in hell. What do you want from me? So there's treason, coordinate, dimension, Elysium, infinity. I think it's infinity. Hang on. It's not treason, is it? Yes, fine. We're in a hell. We're in one of the hells. What's the difference? Is it dimension? Is this the one you wanted? No. I don't know which one of these is that one. Unless there's one over there I'm just missing, which I guess I could go look at. I've already kind of mentioned this, but there's 9 hells, although effort is being made to make a 10th hell, basically as we speak. You might think, why would you want an additional hell? Well, if there was an additional hell... Oh, here we go. Alternate? That can't be it. If there's an additional... Basically, the one who is furthest down is stronger. There's basically rules of who's in charge. There's a reason why Asmodeus is the one in charge, and it's not just because he's super powerful and because he's super smart. It's because he is the one who is in charge of the 9th layer of hell, which is just below this one. And yes, that means this one, that is to say the ruler of this one, is the 2nd strongest devil of the setting. Yeah, Tiamat, we don't talk about Tiamat. Anyways. Okay, how about coordinate? Is this it? Okay. I literally don't know. I will go with infinity then, because I don't know what other one he bumps wants here. Is this the one you want? No. Wait, what? God damn it, I just accidentally kicked him because I fat-fingered. You gotta be kidding me. Come back. It was literally an accident. Come back, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, apparently it is treason. Weird. That was my first guess, but he didn't do anything. Treason. Treason? Aha! There we go. Okay, now you want me to show you 2 others standing side by side on a 4th man's leg, barred between his ankle-high boots. And, yeah, okay, that sounds strange. That makes no sense. I know, right, Dakamos? Dimension. Where'd he go? Scrivener. Scrivener. There you go. Dimension. Okay, you want me to take you to one where a traveler is resting in a house with a shark cutting through the water, a close-up of a winking face, and steam rising up from a cup and saucer. Right. Okay, then. I have no idea how I'm supposed to guess these without actually knowing the answers, so whatever. How does that lead to infinity? Someone explain that one to me. Okay, this is the final stone. It heads towards the icy walls nearby. Woo! Well, let's go see what's going on with that woman in the cave, shall we? frozen woman, right? Do you know her? Huh. Alright. You feel better now? Okay. Oh, see you around. I gotta go talk to her. I really should just make myself invincible. We got a few fights coming up. Well, let's see who's in here. There's a nettle. Our second one, I believe. We don't have our third one, do we? Is there a third one in here? Nope. Damn. I should have been looking for it. Oh, I gotta be honest, that would have never occurred to me, Max Speedo. Like, I would have just, well, I would have. I know exactly how I solved this back in the day, because this was, you know, before I had game facts or walkthroughs or anything like that. I just tried each one until I found the one that worked. None of them made sense to me. Well, while we go look for another berry, let's go see if we can find a guy. Oh, there's one right up there. Let's go see if we can beat up a guy in a tavern brawl. That sounds like the first thing you do when you go to the Hells, right? Go. At least if you're a dwarf. Hey, there's some Gistheri here. That's strange. Is that? Yeah, there's just some slot here.
Hail, traveler!
An elderly man with a lopsided grin casually shuffles cards at a side table, occasionally earning the scowls of some of the more dour-faced patrons. Two horns protrude from his forehead, one slightly chipped. What brings you to these parts?
Me?
Me?
Oh, I get it. I stumbled upon all these pouting pilgrims as they were leaving Limbo, and thought they could use some cheering up. It seems I have a penchant for the impossible.
Right. I'm sorry, where's Limbo? Oh, you're clueless then, are you, Book? That's okay, somebody's got to be clueless, or the rest of us wouldn't have anyone to explain things to. You see, where is a difficult question in the plains? Look up and maybe Limbo's somewhere above us. Or maybe if you travel far enough east, you'll get there. Or Limbo could be through this knothole in the wood. Or maybe Limbo's just a different way of seeing things. Right. So what about pilgrims? Have you no eyes? The tavern's full of them. Gray skin, dour faces, overly pious, whispered voices. All of them led to the depths of the nine hells by that fool lass, the sensei. All of it in the name of the sleeping man. The horned man spits and the shuffling of his card grows more fierce. If you got questions about the sleeping man, go talk to the sensei. I've washed my hands of it. Try the sensei? Oh, you'll find her in the temple just north of here, tending to the sleeping man. The sensei is the one who brought all these pouting pilgrims here. Not a single sense of humor to be shared amongst them, I reckon. Okay. How long have you been traveling with them? Long enough, I reckon. Long enough to figure out the fourth-fold mystery of the sleeping man, at any rate. He came here looking for someone, and I think I know who. What's a fourth-fold mystery? Oh, it's just some of the senseis in the mumbo-jumbo. She's turned the sleeping man into a religion for all these pouting pilgrims, and the 5 mysteries have become an initiation rite of sorts. Okay. So who did he seek? The sleeping man? Well, long ago, before the devils laid claim to Cania, this place was home to a race called the Knowers. They were collectors, catalogers of lore, and it said some of them still survive. Let the sensei call it her fourth-fold mystery if she wishes, but when the sleeping man came to Cania, he in particular came in search of the knower one knower in particular, the knower of places. Thank you, Tizara. I appreciate it. How did you figure out the mystery? Oh, an old bard gets around, and lore is our specialty. Any bard and Beator can tell you a smattering about the knowers. For a traveling land such as myself, I take keen interest in the knower of places. Think of it, the plains are too vast to comprehend. In such a reality, what answer becomes prized above all else? The sleeping man was wise, I'll give him that. He knew to ask the where of things. Right. So what's the fourth-fold mystery? Oh, he's not going to take questions.
They show up every time I visit the Hells, it seems. They're far right off in a couple of weeks after I leave. It must be I have some fiendish blood in me. That'd explain my mother's side of the family, at any rate.
Right. So, I need...
How much is it worth to you?
It's not worth anything. And so we can play his game or we can kill him. So he's dead. He literally cheats at his game. I'll take that. And the only way to even tell if he's cheating is to have a sufficient wisdom score to tell that he's cheating. So, yeah, screw that guy. He's dead. Moving on. This is pretty much officially when you could stop worrying about doing bad things to people. You're in the hells. It feels weird to say it that way. You're in the hells. So let's go free this random person who decided to defy Mephistopheles. And yes, that's Arabeth. So let's use these berries. Ice melts from her face like tears, and her hair clings damply to her brow. For the first time, you realize she's beautiful. Confused, frightened, and defiant, she attacks! There we go. And then she talks to you.
What's done is done.
By the way, I found out something recently when I was trying to figure out who voice acted Arabeth, because she was a decent voice actress. Turns out, ignoring the fact that she is a massively prolific voice actress, she also does another voice I've heard very often, or I know very well, I haven't heard it that often. That would be the voice of Alexstrasza over in the Warcraft stuff, in Heroes of the Storm and in World of Warcraft.
I am Lady Arabeth de Tilmarand, betrayer of the city of Neverwinter. What is it that you want of me?
You were cold, so I warmed you. I'm a traitor. Will you trust me? I'm dead. Will you return me to life? I am hated. Will you love me? I've lost my innocence. Will you help me find it? Save your breath. There are some things you can't get back. Why did you attack me? Why did you light the fire? I felt sorry for you. I needed your help. I wanted to torture you. I thought I knew you from somewhere. I believed you were making a mistake. I had questions I wanted to ask you. No, I'm going to go with this one. What makes you think I want your pity? I attacked you for your arrogance. But you were cold, so I warmed you. Why did you attack me? I needed your help. Well, I didn't need yours, so I attacked you for your selfishness. Okay. Anyways, I understand you challenged Mephistopheles. Actually, let's ask this first. I think I know you from somewhere. Oh, that's funny. I don't think I know myself anymore. I know my name, facts, details, the story of my fall. I was once a paladin of Tyr. There was a plague. I loved a man. All of it seemed some horrible fairy tale, like a story about someone else some long time ago. Maybe that's all it was. Maybe that's how you knew it as well. I don't know. I try to forget those times. Why? You want the truth? What if I told you I don't like who I was in life? I don't even know if I like who I am now. It seems better to become lost, numb to memories. You don't want that. I do. Please, just leave me be. You know, in doing this, you're only serving Mephistopheles. He was devouring us, eating our very souls to build his army. I'll serve no army, never again. I served Tyr, I served Lord Nasher, I served Morag and our old ones. All my life I've worn their colors and waved their flags. I'll not serve Mephistopheles now after I've gambled and lost so much. So yes, I challenged him. The other spirits thought I did it for them, but they're fools. I serve only myself now. But what of morality? What of it? I have seen evil done in a good man's name and nobility in a cause that good despised. Does that make me good or evil? No, only cynical and jaded and weary of the world. Mephistopheles found humor in my challenge and heard me out, listening patiently until I ran out of words to speak. There in silence he gave voice to the one secret I have harbored with me for so long. Fenthic Moss, cleric of Tyr, hung as a traitor, the man I was about to marry, the man I've always said I loved. I never actually loved him. I never loved him, and somehow Mephistopheles knew the truth. He was just toying with you. Then why do I know his words were true? I never loved Fenthic. I wish I had. You were going to marry. How could you not love him? He was a well-intentioned fool, but a fool nonetheless. But he was young and a priest of the church I served. To marry him was to marry the church. It all seemed too perfect to be wrong. Ah, don't you see, when they hung him, I abandoned my church, my faith, my God. I led an army of evil against Neverwinter, my own city. I wrought destruction on the world and damned my soul to the hells. And to have not done that out of love, out of grief, out of righteous anger. My entire life has been a lie. A paladin of vanity, a blackguard of denial. There were equal poisons coursing through my veins. If not for love, then why'd you do it? As a paladin, I was loved. I was venerated. I was lifted up into that narrow pedestal. In their eyes, I could do no wrong, nor speak no ill. What could you have done in my place? If someone tells you they are perfect, they will show you they are flawed. I sowed the seeds of my own destruction because I needed humbling. So did all those who made such high demands of me. You know, you realize Mephistopheles wants you to feel that way. Well, then he succeeded. For here I am in the middle of things, neither good nor evil, paladin nor blackguard, wanting nothing but to become nothing and meld my soul into the essence of Cania. Hang on. But Tyr did choose you to be a paladin. Do you doubt that wisdom? Oh, yes, I do. I doubt everything, even myself. Gods can make mistakes, as can devils, ghosts, mortals. How could Tyr still want me after all I've done? Well, then that would be Tyr's mistake, not yours. I don't see Tyr down here in the hells. I don't need some god to take responsibility for what I've done. I made my actions knowingly, and knowingly I paid the price. Yeah, but you did not act alone. No, but I acted all the same. Righteous is the one who does what's right when surrounded on all sides by evil. I did not. Then be righteous here in the depths of Beator. Righteous. You present an argument I can't refute, Firestarter. Perhaps my faith has been refined by your fire, strengthened by this ice. Very well. I shall do as you say. On this name, on this blade, both true and given, on all good and evil I have done in my life, I commit all days remaining to me, for better or for worse, to Tyr and his justice. Let it be so. As a quick aside, you can basically... So, depending on how that massive conversation goes, you can choose... Basically, you can decide for her to be good or to be evil. And then, shortly after this, you get a choice to turn her good or evil. And then shortly after that, you get a choice to turn her good or evil. I'm not making that up. I'll mention a bug about this later, once we get there.
Welcome.
Yeah, could you join me, Arabeth, please? I could use a paladin in my party. Alright, let's go. So yeah, I agree with Fullbeard. It was nice that they brought Arabeth back, not because I wanted her to stay not dead, but because they actually turned her into a character here. Again, no problems with the voice acting back in 1, or, in vanilla. But the problem is, she really did have fairly vague and faint characterization back in vanilla. Whereas here, she feels a little bit more like an actual character. It probably helps that she has a massive conversation tree the first time you talk to her. That, fleshes things out a bit. Okay, so I need to go here. I actually agree, Leander, completely. It's worth noting that if you do turn her good, and she, basically... Under certain circumstances, she does have a good ending, if you turn her good. So, that's neat. Anyways.
Yes? What is it?
I just wanted to talk for a moment. Yeah, I could use a break. It's always pleasant to sit and chat a while. So... What are you going to do when all this is over? I can't say I know. Not so long ago, I didn't feel I had a future left to ponder. Let me think on that a while. Okay. So what happened in Neverwinter exactly, anyways? I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't think I'm ready to talk about it yet. Maybe we talk again in the future. Of course, of course. What's it like to be a spirit? I have heard that when warriors lose a limb in battle, sometimes they still feel it, as if the limb exists, but by virtue of imagination alone. That is how it is, but for all of me, every part. The world seems dimmer through eyes, and the sounds less full, the tastes less rich. Everything is as it was in life, but I experience it as if through cotton batting. That must be horrible for you. Horrible? I admit I lived a fervent life, so perhaps I miss the vibrancy of life more than most. But the hells, I'm sure, have greater horrors yet in store for me. Why did you almost become one of the lost? Death does something to your thoughts. They become thick and woolen. Your memories cloud over for a while, and suddenly I had doubts, and I no longer knew how I felt about my crimes. I was scared of the Hell's Lich, and when Mephistopheles came, he played my confusion like a toy. It wasn't until you came that I realized the Hells can pose no threat to that which is still good in me. Well, I'm happy to have helped, Arabeth. And I'm happy you did. You've set us back on the path of righteousness, and I shan't forget it. You have my word. So how are you feeling? You know, I've been wondering why I don't try to run away from myself when I attempt to turn undead. I mean, it's a valid point. Anyways. We're good. Although I do need to get into your inventory. Not like that. So she's got a longsword +4. That's not too bad. A large shield +5. She actually has a better shield than I was going to give her. She has her armor, which is +6 and a thorns effect. Yeah, that's better than that. I've been holding on to this gear to give her, like, basically this entire time, if you've been wondering. No, I didn't keep a Holy Avenger. I should have. Oh, well. Yeah, let's go and give her that. And then the Ring of Resistance, and then the Ring of Electrical Resistance. What else we got here? I mean, I could technically go buy it back. Oh yeah, let's give her the Cloak of Resistance. Let's see. This makes this vendor food. In fact, this makes all of this vendor food now. Why do I still have Rumgut's key? Oh my god, I have the key from Shadows of Underdark still stuck in my inventory. Okay. What, Octavian? I need to make sure that she was properly equipped. I've been holding on to gear for several hours at this point, just for her. So yes, this is the hidden character, which I've accidentally slipped a few times and named her. Arabeth joins us in Hordes of the Underdark. Again, kind of a nice, concluding point. Ta-da, it's over. Final chapter, Arabeth is back. It's just cool.
You are welcome here.
May I introduce you to the sensei? As for you, I'm afraid you'll need no introductions.
Greetings. Like all who struggle in this life, I knew you would come to lay your troubles at the feet of the sleeping man. How is your pilgrimage thus far?
Pilgrimage. Right. That's what I'm doing. That's definitely what I'm doing. How do you know my name? See what I mean? The names we call ourselves are simple things, changing with the wind and writ plain on our brows for all to read. The mystery lies with the inner name, the true name, the name written on our hearts. Hang on, you know my true name? To know one's true name is to know one's true self, and it is said that to find the one is to find the other. As to the how of it, perhaps that is something the sleeping man can answer for you. Okay, so I'm sorry, is my name literally written on my brow? Upon your brow, your thought, the every working of your brain. I am a sensei of the Gizere. I have trained all my life to read the surface thoughts of those before me. Oh! What are the Gizere? Oh, Jesus, screw this up. Gizere. Once, long ago, we were almost human. The Mind Flayers held an empire that spanned the plains, and under vicious command, we suffered countless centuries of slavery. Little by little, we adapted. Our skin turned gray and mottled from lack of sun, and leathery to withstand the beatings. They prized the mind above all else and bred us accordingly. Over time, our mind became like theirs. Damn it, Mike. Slowly, we learned to defend ourselves against the mental probing, and small pockets of escaped slaves emerged. A hero by the name of Gith rose up amongst their number, and ultimately overthrew the oppressors. Together with our brothers, the Githyanki, we are the children of the rebellion. Many generations now removed. A split came between the Githyanki and ourselves, but that's a story for another time. The Githyanki largely keep to the astral plane, the Githzere to our monasteries in the plane of limbo, although some, like myself, still travel beyond. How do you travel from plane to plane? Oh, there are countless ways. Spells, portals, vortices, shifting banks of fog, shadow. Not all work in all places either. Here in Cania, there's only two. The Gate and the River Styx. Where do they lead? Well, the Gate leads anywhere, provided the Reaper will do your bidding. The tributaries of the Styx, however, flow only downwards to Nessus, the ninth and final layer of Beator. I have not traveled them, and I do not intend to. So how do I make the Reaper do my bidding? Well, beyond using his true name to bound yourself to your will as Mephistopheles has, I cannot say. Perhaps the sleeping man once knew that he knows that... Sorry. What do you mean until he dreams the answer? Well, the sleeping man dreams many things, and when he does, those dreams dance across the surface of his thoughts, where I can see them. Much of what I have learned of his mysteries I have learned through his dreams. What have you learned? His dreams have formed the very tenets of my faith and brought my pilgrims and I closer to enlightenment. Through his dreams I have come to know the fivefold mysteries of the sleeping man. Who is he? From where did he come? Why did he leave? Who did he seek? What was the answer? All who wish to behold in the sleeping man must learn the fivefold mysteries. Let's see, mysteries. That's strange. See, I got a guide over here to help me out with certain things, and it doesn't actually say what the answers are. Oh, whatever. 4. No, okay, right. Pilgrimage. Alright, so we're just gonna kind of skip through these here, apparently. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, that would probably explain why the guide doesn't have the answers, because the answers don't even show up until you have them. All right, you. Yes. Tell me the answers. Blackadder. Amusing about half the time, and incredibly depressing at the ending. Gotta be Celestial. Known. No love. What a dumb reason to leave. Alright, thanks, bye. Where's the third reason? Oh, the third reason's there. So I know the fourth reason, because I already got that. So where's the fifth reason? I'll be going back to ESO at some point, yeah. I didn't know there was a making of Blackadder.
You are welcome here. Very well.
So, planar.
Yes, his is a pure soul with no trace of pride or vice or vengeance. In following him, we take on his beneficence. Now answer me, pilgrim. From where did he come?
This place? Nope. Okay.
Very well.
Let's try this again. Is he from here? Nope.
Very well. Yes.
Is he from
his is a pure
here? Nope. It's okay. God damn it. I officially hate this game. Yes, fiendish. I mean, I guess that's most humor in general, right? Not all humor is gonna orc for all people. Okay, really? I completely... That's my fault. It's actually back in the Arabeth cave. Come on, Arabeth. Let's go back to the Arabeth cave. That's what we're going to call it from now on. It's weird, because when I first came through here, and anybody who's paying attention might have noticed this, I kept hitting tab to see if there's anything I could interact with, but I didn't see anything. So apparently I didn't forget. I'm just blind or something, because I'm still not seeing it. What the heck is it? Sure, Undead Elvis. That makes super sense. It's outside the cave, and I'm just an even more of an idiot than I already thought I was? Comedy absolutely does not fit the rumination format, that is correct. I know this because I have been asked to comment on several comedies in my time, and they're very, very short ruminations, because I have no idea what to say or anything to say about them. Because, I mean, you know. Okay. There. There's that. There's not a lot here. There's nowhere else to go.
Yes? What is it?
Yeah, I seek the fivefold mysteries. Okay, so there's number 5. Why is that? Well, because comedy is right up there with food and music as something that is incredibly dependent on the individual. What I find funny is probably not what anyone else in the entire world finds funny. At least not exactly, right? There are plenty of other people who find things funny that I also find funny, but in different ways. Ergo, doing a rumination, sitting and discussing and analyzing humor, it just doesn't work. It's like saying... It's the old saying about not explaining the joke, right? All I could do is dissect the actual nature of the humor itself, which just kind of takes all the wind out of it. So all I can do is discuss the setting outside of the humor and basically dodge the humor. And if you ask me to look at something that's a parody work, then you're going to end up with me talking about 5 minutes about the film or game. Am I... Huh. This could be bad. Could it be worse? Well, the Scrivener gives me the answer to the second thing he searched. The Scrivener wandered off after I completed the Scrivener's quest, so unless the Scrivener is around here somewhere, I am screwed. I'm not even sure I have a save far enough back to recover that. Oh yeah, speaking of which, this is what's going on back here. if you're wondering where all those souls are going, well... Yeah, I think I'm going to have to look up another guide again. Because I don't know where to find the second thing. Otherwise, I've done everything else. So we'll look it up here. Okay. Okay, there's someone in the quarry who knows the second answer. Anyways, as for yes, minister, no, that would be completely out of bounds. And I bet anyone who knows me can guess why that is. Oh yeah, speaking of which, let's level really quick. Yes, I feel the heat is pretty much accurate. There we are. Overwhelming critical. Yes, please. Yep. And let's see. Let's go with epic prowess. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Anyways, there's our wings. Sorry, I forgot I had a cloak on.
Yes. Yes.
I was hiding them. I seek the mysteries. Anyways, so now we can go talk to the sleeping man, finally. I say finally. Chapter 3 really is quite short. That's why I'm convinced we'll defeat it today without streaming 2 over long. And then we can start 2 tomorrow. But first we have to make Arabeth our one true love. It's very important, since we just met like 5 minutes ago. Hey Arabeth, you want to be my one true love? Okay.
Yes? What?
Let's see if she answers anything new here. Nope. Okay. Just checking. Sometimes the pathfinding in this game makes no sense to me. Okay, yes, I'm ready to answer the questions.
Very well. Let us see.
Planar,
Yes,
he's from
that
Elysium.
he does. Elysium is a place of beauty and peace and perfection. Yet he turned his back on it and never returned, choosing instead to roam the plains. So answer me, pilgrim. Why did he leave?
His heart had known no love.
He knew that without passion we are nothing, and thus he journeyed many years in search of his true love. His journey brought him here, to the frozen wastes of Kanya. Answer me, pilgrim. Who did he seek?
The knower of places.
The knowers ruled this plain before the Beta Zoo claimed it as their hell. In his wisdom, the sleeping man asked simply where his true love would be found. Tell me, pilgrim, what was the answer?
I don't remember. Hang on. I guess we'll do this one.
So he returned here, to the gates, content in the knowledge that she would find him. Weary from his journeys, he fell asleep. That was all long, long ago, but still he waits here, dreaming of his true love.
I knew that. I like to think that my character in lore was just like, hang on, I know this. Oh, absolutely Undead. In fact, that's always what I assume any Elder Scrolls game is at this point.
You have mastered the fivefold mysteries of the sleeping man, Pilgrim. When you enter his chambers, wear this crystal around your neck. It will help you see his dreams.
Yeah, that's nice. Peace. People make religions about weirdest things. Don't. That's not a controversial topic. I'm talking in universe. She literally has made a pilgrimage about some dude. He dreams about hands.
But before we go any further...
Yeah, what's going on, Arabeth?
Do you feel it? The sleeping man. He exudes goodness. It's like being young again. Like being back in the temple in Neverwinter. Like being alive. You can feel it, can't you?
All I feel is the weight of dust and time. And sadness, too. Happiness because his love is coming to him. Sadness because she's not here yet. That's how hope works, I think. The two mingle. Yeah, I don't Undead Elvis. Well, that's how you are, too, isn't it? Well, some ghosts haunt me and some are haunted. I guess I'm one of the latter. But thanks to you, Lich, I guess I'm hopeful. Now let's do what we came here to do. Alright, so here's the sleeping man. There's actually two ways to wake him up. He is, as you can see, a planer. So, I can place the amulet on my way thing. I can wake him up with the trumpet. Let's examine him. I focus my thoughts. I fail my wisdom check over and over and over again. So, I use the trumpet. The trumpet casts Meteor Swarm! The trumpet is sucking all the breath from your lungs. You try to stop blowing, but you can't! Just when you're about to black out, the shrieking fades. Before you, the sleeping man stirs and wakes.
No! No one disturbs the...
Jesus, lady! What the hell? Issues? Man, if I could have done that earlier, that would have been awesome.
Yes? You were wounded. Come, let me heal you. I see your attacker was well trained. Have you any idea who she was?
Oh, it's just a jealous lover, nothing more. A vengeful spirit, I'm afraid. A she-devil bent on my destruction. I have no idea. She just came out of nowhere. No, she was the sensei. She runs the temple. You tell the truth, I see, but what god did she worship? And what temple is this? Am I still at the gates of Kanya? Yeah, she worshipped you. Me? Oh, I can sense the truth of the very notion. It's horrible. Did she not see the heresy of it? You are right to do away with her before such notions spread. Good, ladies and gentlemen. I swear it was as if that felled trumpet blast had summoned her from planar depths to the attack. It would seem to me you have risked much to sound the blast. Why so? I needed to get that woman's attention. No, I've run out of options. I need your help. You've run out of options to come to me? Here I am, an angel in the depths of Kanya, sleeping away the years, and as I wait for my one true love, and you think I have options? I don't know how to help you. All I know is I've been waiting for my one true love. Have you seen her? Is she here? Your what? I'm sorry. Everyone must have one. Okay, side story. In Forgotten Realms, everyone does have a one true love, like an actual one true love. And that one true love is someone who basically fits you perfectly as you fit them perfectly. The only requirements for this is that both of you are sentient and sapient enough to have the mentality and complexity that love requires. That's it. Your one true love could be a devil, and a planer, an elf, all sorts of stuff, right? So, it's kind of an unusual thing within the setting, but it's interesting in its own right because it actually makes perfect sense when you sit and think about it. Because if you were to think of people, hear me out, think of people as a really complicated geometric shape. Well, given the vast breadth of creation and how many different living beings there are amongst the world and the worlds and all the different planes, it kind of makes a degree of sense that there's one other geometric shape out there somewhere that actually matches up with yours. Now, whether or not that shape you ever find that other person, or even know it's them, well, that's kind of a little bit more debatable. Although the general idea within Forgotten Realms is if you find your one true love, generally, you know it. It's just, bam, that's the one. Tetris, We'll talk more about that in a minute, though, because there's something else to talk about that. Anyways, so, is she here? No. Very well, if I can wait for this long, there's no aim in waiting longer. What is it you asking me? I need to know the Reaper's true name. I've never heard of this Reaper whom you speak, but as for the true names, I have learned a little. Somewhere between too much and not enough, it always seemed. Yeah, exactly, Mihawk. And yes, it can be a god, by the way. That is also possible. Remember, the deities are sentient sapient beings just like everyone else. The only one it probably can't be is Ao, and of course, creatures that don't really have the capacity for it. Anyways, that was the sole portion of my quest I was unable to complete. Somewhere banished to the furthest wastes of Kanya is a creature known as the Knower of Names. I faced a choice, a place where I was granted only a single question and a single answer. Do I gamble everything and learn my true love's identity with no guarantee of ever finding her? Or do I play it safe and learn where she might find me, knowing then at least that we shall have the fortune to gaze upon each other's face, unrecognized, but still in love? I chose the latter. So what kind of creature has that name? Oh, the Knowers, the ancient Batorians, were creatures of great wisdom and equal innocence. Frozen Kanya was their home long before the devils laid claim to it in the endless blood war against the demons. I know, right, Kel Morgan? Could you believe that? Who is your one true love? Mistra! Well, okay. Why was she banished? Because names are power. Disguised as one Baron Molocroth, Mephistopheles led a rebellion against his own forces to reveal those who his lover, the Knower of Names, said would betray him. In the end, he banished 11 of his generals, and her as well, for he feared others might use her against him. He sent her away and bid all the hells forget her. Aye, names are power here, and a weakness too. Mephistopheles imprisoned her in the furthest wastes of Kanya, but the wastes are vast, and I don't know where her prison lies. But there is one who does, and I've relied upon her services once before. That way is dangerous, however. The distance long and the winds deadly, and what's more, Mephistopheles left 5 guardians to bar the way. 2 lie dead by my hand, but 3 still remain. That said, I know a ring that will reveal the path and lead to the knower of places. She will answer only one question. It is vital you ask her where you will find the knower of names. She's one of the knowers who remains. Why will she only answer one question? Oh, she'll answer more if you ask them right. But as for her domain of knowledge, all the wares of things, she will only answer one. I never asked her why, that is, but it was true all the same. This is a puzzle ring, fashioned for me by a Modron from the plane of Mechanus. It operates by virtue of hope. Long ago there was an answer I hoped to find, and this ring forged the path and led me to it. Interesting. I'm just going to skip through this really quick. The Clockwork Nirvana of Mechanus, a paradise of sorts for some. In that plane there's a city called Regulus, and it's home to a mechanical creatures called Modrons, which are fun things to play with, let me tell you what. And they come in many shapes and sizes, some cubes, other dodecahedrons. The one who fashioned my ring was an outcast, crippled Taurus, grizzled, old, full of skill. So, show me the ring, please. Before I slept, I built a vault here to keep the ring's 3 pieces. Let me summon the gate. Oh, and forgive the guardians. It was late and I was tired. Okay. Thank you very much. Enjoy your sleep. You know, that's not really a bad point, Octavian. Deacon will never betray you. You're right. Well, this looks safe. Oh, for God's sakes. Really? Skeletons? Really? Alright. So apparently... You notice, by the way, respawn is no longer an option. I point that out because that is... I've mentioned before that each... hang on. I'm not sure when I reloaded a save. Oh, it was because I... Yeah. Anyways, each chapter has its own version of a difficulty increase. That's the version here. If you die, you gotta reload a save. So if you haven't been paying attention to, you know, saving frequently, this is gonna be an issue.
The essence of undead.
But yes, as you saw, these guys hit like a truck. They're actually quite weak, relatively speaking. They don't have a lot of HP. But they hurt.
An end to this evil.
Exactly, Fiendish. I mean, think about it percentage-wise. It's basically the same relative percentage as real life. Imagine a hypothetical that you have one true love somewhere else in the world. What are the odds of you meeting that person? Give you a hint. It's pretty low. Yeah, I think the game does get better about autosaves from this point on, but, you know.
Immune to magic.
Well, I already gave you the definition, Carbon. Like, I gave you an exact definition, no less.
Die! Die! Die!
Well, that's how it is in Forgotten Realms, Locke. You see, in real life, we call this love at first sight, which is something I'm not actually sure really exists. But in Forgotten Realms, you see it with someone and bam, there they are. Ah, see, I don't agree on that, Carbon, so I'm afraid we'll have to disagree on our definitions
We'll see
then.
about that.
About 1 in 3.8 billion. Roughly. I mean, we could math that out a bit more if we really wanted to. Like how many people roughly you'll interact with in your life. Good luck and have fun. Sorry. Trying not to sneeze. Okay.
Hello then. Hello.
Oh my god, Dagamos. Okay, so we've got, yeah. H, F, L. Hope, faith, and love. Ooh, we have a ring. We put a ring on it. There we go. Oh my god, what the world? I see many things. Many, many distant things. Oh god. Yes, the greatest enemy was always love. Damn you, love. What's with the hands? Actually, funnily enough, so I haven't really talked about divination that much, mostly because there's not a lot where it comes in. But, divination within Forgotten Realms usually requires information. Basically, the more you know, the more you can know. The more precise and the more information you'll get. That makes sense? So, for example, if I was to want to scry on my sister right now, for example, for whatever reason. I know her name, I know her face, I know her relative location, you know, I know her temperament, I know her age. I have so many details about her that scrying her would be very easy. By contrast, if I tried to scry on, say, Carbon, I would have very little to go on. Or just about anyone else in chat. He'd be like, well, I know their nickname is such and such. You know. So you notice the arrows, by the way? That's cute right there. Yes, we're in Alaska as we speak, as you can see. Arabeth? Oh, there she is.
Yes? What is it? Do you feel it? The sleeping man.
Whoops, hang on. Make sure I sell that.
Yes?
Hang on. Okay. Just making sure we're up to date on our conversations with her, that's all. Don't mind me. Alright, time to go kill the Guardian of the Path. What's up? Yes, that's another...
I can't carry this much. It's too heavy.
Right, I forgot about this. So now we're a pixie.
Just don't drop me, whatever you do. The ground looks dirty.
Now we're a golem.
Nothing. I attack and nothing.
One more time. And last one.
This much. It's too heavy.
Wolf. Battered, weary, and surprised, I clasp the sensei's amulet in my hand. The light is brighter out here than the city's grime, and somehow it seems tied with my recent and unexpected transformations. Lich. Each time you shifted form, you saw the crystal glint off the heart. Curious, you decide to experiment further. So what do you think, guys? Pixie, wolf, or golem? Well, the answer is golem, actually. So...
I can't carry
Oops,
this much.
that's the wrong one.
It's too heavy.
Hey, there's a note. If you're reading this letter, then you have beaten one of my guardians of the path. Well, know this. I have buried the Mulkith rebels deep in the ice of Kenny where they belong. Let them be a symbol of what shall befall those who oppose me. I recommend you turn back while you still have the strength to do so. And he has an astral blade +8. Hey, Arabeth. I got something for you. It's a freaking +8 sword. Enjoy. Jesus. Yeah, I have a +8 weapon. I can't get through this friggin' thing. Let's go grab some berries here. Alright, so I need to be a watch-a-fig. There we go. Stompy stompy.
Nothing. I attack.
Yes, I've plus kill Morgan. I'm not sure why exactly, but whatever. But no, keep... Okay. I'm gonna have to hotkey this, aren't I? Or not. Fine. We'll do it the hard way. Break the ice. Continue to break the ice. Continue to break the ice. Don't stop breaking the ice. Oh my god. Arabeth, like, this person just turned into a pixie and a golem. Well, that explains why he's my one true love. Let's... Well, funnily enough, I was going to make the comment that I have a feeling that when they were designing the Fade, they had this in mind. Like, sincerely. Because this would totally fit. I mean, there's several puzzles coming up that we have to design to make our way through based on which form we're in. Like, we just had to be the golem to break through there. I would go with yes, Octavian, but mostly because of the ending. Why am I not invincible?
A solid blow!
Gosh darn it. There we go. Now I'm invincible. Eesh, the things I have to do to be invincible these days.
Grant us safe journeys, Tyr.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall! The bigger they are!
An end to this evil!
The bigger they are!
I mean, that's true. Their AC goes down the bigger they are, so that makes sense. Which, when I was young, I didn't understand that until I realized that AC actually is better described as, you know, dodge rather than armor. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Excuse me, but before we go any further...
Yeah, what's up?
I have been thinking more upon the nature of hell.
The nature? Okay. I'm listening. According to my temple training, the outer planes are divinely morphic. He who rolls a plane can also shape it. All this ice and lava's here is because Mephistopheles wants it here. I wonder what'll happen now that he's gone. I wonder why ice and lava. Well, it's precisely the arbitrary nature of the hells that makes them so horrible, don't you see? If all this ice and lava had a logical reason for their existence, then they would lose their power over our minds. Okay. Temple training? Oh yes, in Neverwinter, remember? One isn't just born a paladin. There's quite a lot of esoteric study involved. It just never occurred to me I'd get this much first-hand experience with the hells. So wait, hang on. He's coming back, isn't he? I'm not so sure. I think he's abandoned Kania. What worries me is I suspect he hopes to make Toril his throne now. Why would he abandon this place? Well, he doesn't need it anymore. He who rules the deepest pit of hell rules all of them, and Asmodeus rules the 9th. But our friend is hoping to make Toril the 10th, and thereby seize his prize. Death is the beginning, not an end. Life is but a fraction of our experience, a simple tutorial, preparing us for the many lives beyond. The heavens and the hells lie along a continuum, but even they cannot encompass all that is. Well, anyways, goodbye. Why do I have to go kill the wolves? Like, I know there's like a... Oh, no, I remember why I have to kill the wolves. I remember. Take a few seconds out of my life, right? Down you go. Come on, game. There we go. It's for... Whoops. It's for this. Yeah, that is a very nice cloak. For Arabeth. There we go.
Putting me away already, are you? So be it.
Oh, right.
I can't carry this much. It's too heavy. I can't carry this much. It's too heavy.
I like how I have to transform to get in here, and she just walks right in. I don't even remember which Ultima that was anymore. It's been so long. I've heard it referenced many times. That was 9? Really? Wow. A lot further on than I remember.
I can't carry this much. It's too heavy.
And then Arabeth is left behind forever. Okay, she'll port to me in a moment, I hope. Suppose I should put this back on. You know, you'd think as a pixie we could just float over there, right? Doesn't that seem logical? Whatever. Well. Mimics. Lovely things.
Excuse me, but before we go any further,
Yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but see the look of shock on your face when that creature took off with your clothes.
And I couldn't help the look of interest on yours. Are you flirting with me? Are you flirting with me? I might be. This may come as a bit of a surprise, but we paladins have been known to fall in love and marry on occasion. A surprise, to be sure, but not an unwelcome one. Well, let us remember that for the future. But right now we need to get your clothes back. I can hear your teeth rattling. Oh, I hate this section. Like, it's amusing, but I hate this section. Why is it not... One moment. One moment. Right. Come on. There we go. Yeah, as soon as I glanced at my guide, and it's like, you navigate this with the ring, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember those. This is just kind of a padding thing, really, if we're being honest. There's nothing really clever about this. It's just take the ring off, and then put it off. And then on, and then off, and then on, and then off, and then on. And I died again. That is so strange. Why am I dying? Oh, I know why I'm dying. When was my last autosave? Ugh, god damn it. Hang on. It doesn't matter.
Funny. I can't carry this much. It's too heavy.
Run away. Yeah, exactly. It's actually specifically also the this script right here completely changes the cheat codes for some reason. That's fine. I have another way to cheat, which I'm going to do because I'm tired of this, and we need to beat this game. Come on. Away. Don't worry, Arabeth, I'm coming. I know I look like a giant golem thing.
Time to deal death once more, I see. Putting me away already, are
Of
you?
course, Carbon. No.
So be it.
So Arabeth just died. Jesus Christ, we're having much worse luck this time. You're probably thinking, Lore, why don't you just reload your autosave? Well, as soon as I loaded the quick save by accident, I ended up overriding the autosave. Get up. So we're just gonna go hog wild with cheats at this point. How's that sound to everybody?
Yes? What is it? Do you feel it?
Moving on. Yeah, suddenly we're basically gods. It's just like, you know what? I'm tired of messing around. Die. Hope you guys like purple.
Nothing. I attack and nothing. Die. 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 Die.
I get the feeling he wants me to do something. I'm not sure what, though.
Die. 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 Die.
On the plus side, you get to hear me flirt with Arabeth again. It's always a plus, right? It is the best voice, let's just be honest with ourselves. So, Kel Morgan, I'm not sure if you're aware of how that works. But if you give yourself all the spells, it only sticks with debug mode on. And debug mode on really bugs the game out. Like, hard.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but see the look of shock on your face when that creature took off.
So, flirt, 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 flirt. Okay. Yeah, I've actually, once upon a time I tried to do a playthrough. It was a, you know, screw it playthrough, where I just wanted to smash through everything like it was a bug. So, I turned on, you know, debug mode, DM all spells, and I just was having fun with it, you know, casting all sorts. I had a huge spell variety thing. I was just killing everything. It was great. And then I ran into my first major bug. So for those of you not aware of what I mean by bugs, you actually saw this a little bit earlier when I was trying to free Deacon from being petrified back in Shadows of Underdark. Because while the debug mode is up, all the scripts and triggers are visible. Like, literally, you can actually see the visible signs of the triggers on the ground, and you can interact with them, which prevents you from interacting with other interactables in a normal manner. Which means, in some cases, it can quite literally be impossible to continue playing the game until you turn debug mode off. It is also possible to permanently break some of the scripts in a way that you would have to reload a previous save in order to fix them. So, yeah. In short, don't play with debug mode on. Oh, and yes, we will definitely be cheating in Neverwinter Nights 2. In fact, ironically, Neverwinter Nights 2 allows us to cheat more than Neverwinter Nights 1 does, because, if nothing else, a little bit of additional functionality, and of course, the presence of the DM NPC.
Nothing? I attack and nothing?
Right, I remember this puzzle. I remember this stupid, stupid puzzle. Alright. I actually, unfortunately, have a lot of experience with cheating in Neverwinter Nights 2. Not because I want to, as weird as that may sound. In fact, I've never cheated in Neverwinter Nights 2. But I have used a lot of the cheats in Neverwinter Nights 2. Now, can anyone guess why before I actually explain myself? Because it kicked my butt. No. New Game Plus? No, although I like doing that too, but I've never actually done that in Neverwinter Nights 2. Because I didn't get good? Nope. The party size cheat I did use once, but mostly just because duh, right? Because I'm a known cheater. Still no! I'm surprised none of you have guessed this. No, it's because it's an Obsidian game. Obsidian games are buggy. So I actually got rather familiar with cheating in Neverwinter Nights 2 to fix the game. Okay, that's both scavengers. Yeah, the old Elder Scrolls maneuver. That's exactly right. He just ate that scavenger rat. I have two, Blackfile. Okay. Are you sure this isn't the gem puzzle? I guess I believe you. I don't know. I thought we were already at the gem puzzle. Obviously we're not, I guess? Oh, right. You're right, we're not at that puzzle yet. Where's the gem? Where's the ring? You're right, we're not at the gem puzzle yet. I hope that doesn't mean I just permanently screwed myself over because I just got rid of the gem pile. Grab the sapphire back while I'm at it.
Come on, fight me here! Come on.
Oh my god, really, Takamas? That's funny. Like, basically falling damage at that point. I hate mimics. There are things I hate more than mimics, but I hate mimics. Now, rust monsters, or rust beasts, or whatever, those are the worst.
Stay your attack. It doesn't look to pose any threat, and besides, its shell seems hard as rock. I suspect it's from those worthless gems it seems to feed on.
Probably. So now I gotta lure the thing into the middle, and then kill it with fire. Oh god, yeah, disenchanters are worse, I'll agree with that. But rust monsters are just mean. Like, they're not even hard. They're just mean. It's like, you know what? Today I feel like pissing off my players. You are fighting 5 rust monsters. What? Why? Because I hate you. Get out the wooden gear. Anyone bring a bow? And staff? Yeah, I made a save at the beginning, and I don't plan to hit save again, because, yeah, I remember this section being kind of wonky. I have distinct memories of having to run a script to get myself past this section before. Oh, where's that stupid thing? Fighter, wizard. Give me your stick. Yeah, yeah. Although, I have actually... So, okay, the first time I ever played a monk ever was specifically in reaction to rust monsters. The GM I had been playing under had thrown us at several, and we basically died as a consequence. And so, it was like, well, I ain't never putting up with that crap again. And so I basically sat down and made a character designed to defeat rust monsters. Yeah, I know. Then I ended up liking Monk because it's Monk. I mean, what's there not to like, right? Whoop, whoop. Telling you, yeah, just about any word in front of Monk and it works. How about this gem Monk? Think about it. Think about it. Where the hell is he? And why isn't he showing up? Let's put a gem pile here. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's put a gem pile here. There we go. Gargoyle monk, yeah? Yeah? Run, Arabeth, it's going to eat us and our delicious gems. If I get this first try, I'm gonna laugh. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Did it just burp? Seriously? Girl. And then 2 mimics attack me from the other side. That's probably good. Die in a fire. clawed hand it's been using to navigate its lair scrawls out, dazed in crab-light. Spying the dark sanctuary of your pack, it latches onto your chest, clambers over your shoulder, and scrambles in. Though you had originally mistaken it as some kind of appendage of the mimic itself, you now realize it's a fiendish grappling device. Just as you start to feel some pity, you find yourself interrupted. Serves the blasted box of wood right, if you ask me. You can't imagine how long it's been had me trapped in this place with its infernal magic. Bloody mimics. Well, I'm free now, and if I saw what I think I saw, I believe you've got a little something of mine, don't you, Burke? Ha 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 ha! Oh God, he's an epic level adventurer! Oh crap! I have made mistakes! And then he died. Yeah. No. Where's my robe? That's not my robe. Where is my robe? Oh, it's over there. Duh. There's my robe. And a scavenger rat skull. And a boot of +10 constitution. And some gems. For some reason. That sounds terrible to almost. No, I've never even heard of that. So now that we have the grapple hand, now we'll save. Welcome to the deeper wastes. Woo! My favorite place to be, really. As I near the churning lava of this tributary of the river Styx, I can feel the grasps of the demonic finger twitch in my back. It's almost as though it wants me to use a, Sure, Kilmorgan. If it helps, I'm actually not in God mode right now because it kept being disabled, so I just kind of... I can't... Nope. There we go. Look, there's an actual skybox. Okay. There's a campsite. Maybe that'll work. Nope. I actually don't know why this isn't working. Maybe I need this on? Okay, let's go over here. Use the thing again. There we go. Why wasn't it triggering? Whatever. So it isn't quite Legend of Zelda, but we've kind of got a grapple arm thing going on.
Already. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
So you're talking about the frost giant fight, aren't you, Bill Morgan?
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
If I'm remembering correctly. Because we're basically at the end now. We have like 2 more things to do.
The bigger they are, the...
Well, theoretically, yeah, Carbon.
The bigger they are, the harder they...
I must be misremembering. That's okay. Let's go ahead and sell our stuff, or not. Hey.
Once again.
There we go. Okay. Let's make some money happen. We're gonna need so much money soon. Actually, to get everything, which I do want to do, we're gonna have to cheat, but that's okay, because that's just kind of making my point for me, isn't it? Gem piles, which are worth 1 gold. Explain that to me. Don't, actually, I don't want you to. Oh, this fight. You're right, I did forget about this fight. Let's put a save right here. And we don't have cheats on. Oh, we're gonna... Well, no, we're good, we're good. Oh, no, we still have our stats up, don't we? Okay, so... This should be at... 18... Me... We're almost dead now. We actually are dead. Why are we dead? Oh god, why are we dead? Shoot, we're literally listed as dead. Let's level up now that we're dead. Hang on. Give me a moment. I can fix this. Okay, we're still dead. Okay. Now we're alive. Let's get to 100% health. It wasn't letting me rest when I was dead, if you're wondering what was going on there. Plus 12 katana. I don't need plus 12 gear. That's ridiculous. Okay. Okay. This should be pretty low, like 15, I want to say. And this should be 23. That's everything. Okay. No cheats, no nothing. Let's do this.
Welcome, friend.
So, Grimna, you might have wondered where he was earlier, right? Also, Baal Faran, Crimson, Koth Uth Kalin, and Maugrim. I recognize that spirit. That's Grimna, a dwarf who helped us save Neverwinter. And Maugrim, what are you doing here? Yeah, exactly, Kelmorgan. The cleric known as Maugrim gives a cruel laugh. Oh, Arabeth, our paths cross once again. But you'll be relieved to know I no longer follow Morag and the old ones. Now I have loftier ambitions. With Mephistopheles gone, there is a void that must be filled. This plane of hell needs someone to rule. Those who swear allegiance to me will be rewarded. Those who do not will be destroyed. Now, he's a monk, and an epic level monk, so that's not an idle threat. I'm not bowing to anyone. First, we need to target Maugrim. Then we're going to have to go after Belferon, the Lich. I need to get my familiar out, like this, my next action. Come on. Are you going to take action, or are you going to stand there taking damage? Jesus, do something! Okay, Belferon's down. And let's lay on hands ourselves. Arabeth is dead. I'm just going to accept that. There's nothing I can do about it, really. Let's take out Maugrim. Maugrim's gone. Koth is the next big threat. And now Grimna. Yikes! Oh, I forgot Crimson. I forgot Crimson. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. So in case you ever doubt that the the Red Dragon Disciple really is a very powerful build. There you go. I actually managed that. Legit style. Without my armor on, I just realized, but whatever. Yeah. Let's just... hang on. Okay, back to cheating. Oh, hang on. So let's set this back up. Get our health back. Get our saves back. Get our other saves back. Get our armor back. Which I'm an idiot. I really should have put armor on for that. Jesus. Yeah, I actually thought I was going to lose that, legit. Okay. Whoops. Honestly, probably not, but it does speed things up. And Lord knows that there are a couple of pretty mean fights coming up. Although, I'm going to go and let you guys sort of decide now, because not too long from now, there's going to be a choice we're going to have to make. We're going to have to choose between defeating the last boss or beating the last boss, as in beating him with our fists, or whatever we choose to. Which would you prefer? Do you want to... Well, you get the point. Jeez, this is some really nice gear. I said it before and I'll say it again. You ever want to really challenge your players? Throw them against other players. And that's exactly what this fight is. I've actually argued before that this is actually the hardest fight in this game. You know, effectively the super optional equivalent. Beat with fists, not with words. It is more satisfying. And he can be very mean. Let's make sure she's good to go on this. What does she have? Wow, okay, so let's give her... what's this one? Yeah. She needs some boots, too. Dex and move silently. That's much better. Let's get those on her. +6 necklaces. Jeez Louise. Hang on, so that's dodge modifier. That's a natural modifier, okay. But she already has that, and I'm stupid. That's true. That's true. I could just save right before it and show off both routes. Probably talk him down first and then defeat him down second. Quicker to do it that way. Yeah, I think we're good on that. So let's see what Mogram had on him. Prot. A +6 on hit slow, +1d8 divine damage mace. A ring of power, which gives him a lot of stuff. I'm giving that to Arabeth. Holy crap. Yikes. That's also pretty good. Bonus cleric spells 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. Really? What's he have against Monk? Oh, I should get rid of this Helm of Shielding. I don't need that anymore. There we go. It's just a ring of power. Don't worry about it, guys. It's not a big deal. So... let's give her this instead. And the ring. Where'd the ring go? Is that it? That's the one. Arabeth doesn't need an astral blade. Don't be ridiculous. Oh yeah, this... okay, this is a ridiculous belt. This belt gives you bonus spell slots for cleric level 5, 6, and 7. That's nuts. You might wonder, why am I bothering to loot all this stuff? Well, I like money. Pretty sure we're good to get rid of everything else. Except for Deacon's Book. We will never sell Deacon's Book. You think I'm joking? Okay, what are we up to? 850,000 gold. God dang. Alright, whatever. I like how they're just camped out in some random cave in the wastes of Kanya. That's just real smart, guys. Oh, right. Form of a pixie.
Oh, welcome. Pay close attention. Hopefully you'll learn something.
That's... Oh, that makes sense, Max Beto. So anyways, someone just donated in the middle of that, and that person was Carbon. It's true, the only thing I care about in the entire universe is money. I am an EA executive. Or a Blizzard Activision executive. Nothing else matters. Everything is permitted. I got nothing. Thank you, Carbon. Thank you as always and ever. Funnily enough, I remember the last time I played this quite well, even though it was about 8 years ago now. And I point that out because the last time I played this, we ran into every bug in the book. We had so many bugs in this playthrough, it was ridiculous. And I point that out because if you're paying attention, a lot of the quests and dungeons and encounters and enemies and events and cutscenes, they're all scripts. Every single one of them is one massive series of scripts. And scripts can have issues, especially when it's doing something that it wasn't really intended to do.
Yes?
How's she doing? She's put some thought into what she wants to do, and she still feels drawn to Neverwinter. There was a time when she would have thought to haunt the place, but perhaps she can be its protector or guide somehow. No! I won't allow it! To what end? Penance, I think. I must serve that which I betrayed in life. But it's more than that, too. I want to walk its streets once more in summer, hear singing in the temple. It'd be pleasant for me. Sounds good to me. It's been on my mind for some time. I only hope my presence there can bring some peace to my old home. Whoops. There we go.
I see our next victim.
I know, right, Eitri? Oh, hey, it's that lady we killed. I like the big dramatic swoop up. Valid, Carbon. Lord knows a genuinely evil person wouldn't even think about penance. They wouldn't care. They just keep doing whatever they want to. Okay. I remember hating this run.
Not the face! Not the face!
I remember why. Well, that's because you're incredibly evil, Carbon. We all know this. Oh, yeah. This room. So you notice the arrows just kind of shift over by bit. Yeah, this is basically a time waster puzzle. There's nothing complex here. There's nothing to figure out. It's just trial and error. And then backtracking. Okay, so I want to go that way first. No! God dang it. It doesn't help that the camera does this weird reset thing. Like that. There we go. Okay, now... Where the hell am I? Turned around like crazy. Arabeth, would you kill that, please? Thank you. Appreciate it. Where the arrow's pointing, it's pointing the right way. Damn it. Whatever. So, how are you guys doing this fine day? You must not disturb the holy puzzles. I've said before that I like Hordes of the Underdark, and I mean it. And I also said that Hordes of the Underdark gets better by the end, and I meant that too. I think they actually legitimately do some very good stuff with the Kanya section. It's just, I don't like the gem room, especially since it's very prone to bugging. And I don't like this room because it's long and slow and boring, and also prone to bugging. The best part is the way it's scripted. If you have an actual party, as in more than one physical player here, this just has no idea how to deal with it. No! We're gonna wait this time. I like to think that Mephistopheles one day was just really, really bored, right? And he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of make a puzzle in lava designed to piss people off and waste their time. That sounds like a thing Mephistopheles would do, don't you think? I mean, doesn't it? Oh yeah, by the way, heaven forbid if you save and load in the middle of one of these scripts running. Because, that can really mess with some things. Exactly, Eitri. He played an adventure game and was like, oh, that's brilliant! Okay. Oh yeah, these are puzzlers. These planar creatures are...
Outsiders can be tricky.
These planar creatures are clearly devilish, but their mannerisms are one that would identify with an excited bird. They twitch and blink and move skittishly, focusing on those nearby with nervousness and uncertainty. It would be difficult to describe any true intelligence to this half-witted being. Did you ever play The Longest Journey, Eitri? The first one, the one that's, you know, an adventure game. Heh. Oh god, you're right. Maybe I could just brute force my way through? No. Okay. Doesn't look like you can get through the lightning barrier. Arabeth is kind of screwing me up here a little bit. A little bit further. Damn it! Wrong way. Hang on, hang on. Let's depossess. I see the problem. I'm facing the wrong way. That's the problem. There we go. Okay. Possess. No! I'm gonna give this like 2 more tries, and then I'll give up and go do the other long, slow, and boring thing that I have to do. But I figure this is less long and slow and boring than actually doing the puzzle. Oh my god, except my character is like, no! I don't want to go the right way. Okay, hang on. Back into position. Oh, I didn't even think of that, Kilmorgan. That's a great idea. There we go. Thank you, Kilmorgan. Did not even think about that. Stomp, 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 stomp. What? No.
I'm sorry. It can't be done.
Oh no! It opened!
Win the day!
Hang on.
Very well, but loosen your grip. I'm beginning to feel manhandled.
I'm sorry. It can't be done. I'm sorry. It
Yeah,
can't be done.
I've never even tried that, honestly. We're just gonna try to pull that trick again here. There we go. Now this is technically an extremely slow and awful speed run. I wonder if the actual Hordes... See, I haven't actually watched the Hordes of the Underdark speedrun all the way through. I didn't have time to, unfortunately. So anyways, then we made it through the puzzle room! I think I did a good job of showing off how boring and awful the puzzle is, right? Right?
Careful!
Anyways. You know what's funny is if you're thinking about it, that's actually good coding. The fact that that works. Oh, we're extremely close to the end, Carbon. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're like inches from it at this point.
Careful! These outsiders can be tricky.
Like, we have the Frost Giant thing. Actually, we've got a lot of dialogue to do, don't we? So if you want to go to bed, Carbon, go ahead. Because we've got the Frost Giant area, and then, like, dialogue, and then the last boss. And then we'll be done. No, I'm pretty sure an inch defines time, right? Like, I'm light years ahead of this. We're light years from the end of this. That's a dumb reference I shouldn't make. The cheese golem. Oh my god, I need to invent a spell now in something somewhere called the cheese golem. It's literally a golem that just shows up and tells you how to get through a puzzle quicker. Oh god, I forgot there was even a second part to this stupid puzzle. Alright, so let's go over here.
Your taint shall be cleansed.
My taint shall apparently be cleansed. Where the hell am I? Oh my god.
Your taint shall be cleansed.
Careful! These outsiders can be tricky.
There we go. God sakes. Locked chests at this level. Whatever. What is that? It's a bastard sword, +4, 1d10 cold damage, massive crits with additional 1d10. On hit, freeze, DC of 10 plus caster level at level 5. That's not exactly shabby, but that's not what I wanted. Well, I may have never gotten him as a companion. So that's my bad. He automatically betrays you anyways. I'm dead serious. Unless you are female and his love interest, he betrays you.
Careful! These outsiders can be tricky.
Which just amuses me to no end, but anyways.
Careful! These
I think he might anyways,
can be tricky.
but we'll see what happens.
Ah, you won't have me! You won't have me!
Neverwinter!
Velen. Kelmorgan. I don't know if you get a persuade check with him, but I know that...
Careful!
And of course, obviously you can use the true name, because duh. Hello? You bear the ring, I can smell it. The Planetar fooled me once long ago, but not again, I say. Not again! Mephistopheles wouldn't want that. No, he wouldn't.
Careful! These outsiders can be tricky.
Listen, all I'm saying is that once I wield absolute power, it'll all work out great. Potion of Death Armor. There's a bit of paper. The Guardian who... There's 2 lengths of handwriting, corresponding. I have tracked the meddling Planetar to some kind of sepulchre below the ice, but I have lost all trace of him there. Well, find him! But my lord, there's nothing left to find. He's gone. Then wait for him. What if he doesn't return this way? I said wait there for him or anyone else to make him after. Your mewling bores me, Guardian. I said wait. If I have different orders for you, I'll send them. Yeah, he's apparently been here for a very long time. Interesting. So there's the knower of places. Of course she's a frickin' fairy.
Excuse me, but before we go any further...
Yeah, what's up? Oh, God.
That tree. I recognize it.
What tree? Ah! That's the one that flew by as we entered. Where'd you recognize it from? It's from the Neverwinter Wood, northeast of the city. Fenthic first kissed me there, and we carved our initials on the tree. God, I was so foolish then. So innocent. Well, you thought you loved him. And I died young, too, and so did he. After they hung him, I fled to the woods and found the tree and curled beneath its roots. I couldn't be a paladin anymore. I just couldn't see the justice in it. What I couldn't bring myself to understand was that it wasn't justice for him. It was justice for me. If only I wouldn't have been so blind, perhaps there wouldn't have been so much horror in the world. Go talk to the knower of places and learn from her what you can. After that, let's be done with this place. It holds too many memories of wrongdoings. Also notice the music playing.
Yes? What is it?
Yes? Who is it?
God, she looks terrifying, too. You can see she's basically just wings and a head. Like, that's her model, wings and a head.
Tired of waiting, are you, Planetar? Tired of waiting, and twice you found me. Twice you found me, but only once I'll answer. I've told you that, Planetar.
I'm not the Planetar. No, are you sure? You wear his ring, and there's only one in the world, and you have it. You see? Here it is. You don't have his wings, you don't wear his skin, but you'll ask his question, sure enough. I think she's lost her wits. But come, Planetar, my friend, my only friend, my one true friend, let us talk of old times. A million questions, but none of where. You asked that question once already, nevermore. Who are you? You are the you are the Planetar because you wear his ring and ask his questions, pursue his quest. I, too, am who I am, an amalgam of faces and places and things. I am an ancient Batorian, Planetar. With every answer, I become more like the question. What is this place? It is not a place at all. It is a no-place, a non-place, an unplace, a place between place, a space between spaces, an introverse where you alone have found me. Do you like it? Stay here with me. Who do you love? You, Planetar, only you, just like I told you before, only you. I've loved others in their time, but I haven't seen anyone in so long now, only you. I can be true to you, Planetar, only you. Do you ever lie? I have. Well, I try not to, Planetar. I try so hard, but some questions have no answers, or no answers that make sense, or no answers that don't say too much or say too little all at once. I try not to. Tell me of your sister, the knower of names. A sister, you call her? Yes, I can see why you might think of us that way. She was the youngest of us, born after the devils first claimed the ice of Kanya as their own. Young, sweet, pretty, foolish. Oh, she loved too much, too fast, too hard, too passionately. We were all harlots of knowledge, and even they loved us for our minds. Even you, even Mephistopheles, one and the same. I'm sorry, she let herself be loved by Mephistopheles? We tried to warn her against a devil's heart, but that only made her ardor stronger. Perhaps she thought to change him. Perhaps the waters of her heart ran darker than we knew. But yes, she loved him and was loved by him, or so it seemed before he betrayed her and cast her out and banished her in flames to a place I cannot tell you. Why can't you tell me? Because that question involves a where, and I already told you once already when I last saw you. Only one. I told you then. Only one question, only one answer. But I'm not the Planetar. Perhaps not. Perhaps you come here with your own desires and needs, separate from those of my fair Planetar. But it's a pretty thing to believe you might be back for me. Very well. 2 answers I will give you, then. The first answer lies in the ring that led you here. Let its 3 bands of hope be tempered by this 4th band I have fashioned from my despair. It will lead you to where her prison has kept you. You glance at the ring and notice its 3 band fingers have always been entwined with what appears to be a grasping black tendril, frozen in place, cold as iron. Thank you. If you love somebody, set them free, for otherwise your heart shall be clutched between their teeth forevermore. Let their freedom become your own. You are not the first to seek the prison, and you are not the first to find it. Time is a 12-spoked wheel, and with every hour of our lives, another spoke has come and gone. In the passing of 7 spokes, a hole was dug, and a fearsome devil freed. Had the digging been done but 16 spokes sooner, it would have uncovered what you need. All right, thank you. No, don't thank me. Forget me. That would be better, I think. Yes, forget me, my Planetar. And with the passing of the spokes, maybe I will forget you.
Excuse me, but before we go any further...
Yeah, what's up?
Old thoughts of Neverwinter have been preying upon me as of late.
Forget Neverwinter. It was nothing but a city of fools. Not happy memories, I assume. No, not happy ones at all. I keep thinking of Lord Nasher as he stood before the mob to announce that both Fenthic and Desther were to be put to the death. I know now it was fear I saw in him. Tell me of Fenthic and Desther. Well, Desther claimed to be a Tyrian priest come from afar to serve the church, but instead he spread disease with every blessing. Fenthic refused to see it, and how could I doubt the man I told myself I loved? They were both weak men in their own way. I should have spoken up. There should have been something I could say. Instead, I left them to Lord Nasher and the mob. Tell me of their deaths. Lord Nasher insisted that, as a paladin of Tyr, I be the one to declare their guilt, but I refused. He was old, still sick, and didn't want to face the crowds waiting outside the doors. But I made him do it, and in that moment I could tell I was on a darkening course. And when Fenthic fell and his neck snapped, the darkness consumed me. Darkness! Why would Lord Nasher have been scared? Don't you see? The mob in the streets, in their plague-struck squalor, held more power than a lord sitting in comfort on his throne. He ruled them, but even so, he feared them. The plague was but a tool. All Desther wanted was an angry mob, a weakened lord, and a paladin to lose her faith. We all played into his hand, and that's why he was grinning even as he burned. Evil is insidious. Forget Neverwinter. It is nothing but a city of fools. And that is why I dare not forget. I was a fool there too, and some of their folly lies on my shoulders. I must believe that folly can be forgiven, for otherwise despair shall be the only destiny I ever know. Frost giants. Told you, frost giants.
The bigger they are,
I mean, if you think about it, Meph's persuade skill should literally be in the 50s or so, right? I mean, right? I don't know. I don't have his stat sheet in front of me. Pulling up a map here. So I don't want to go there. What I do want to do is go there. Nope, nope, nope. Don't care about the cave. Don't care about the cave. Hang on. Actually, that does make perfect sense. Perfect sense, Carvin. Don't care. You're officially not worth my time anymore, frost giants. Go away. I am immune to fire, yeah. I'm a frickin' whatcha-fig. Red Dragon Disciple in the epic levels. I'm flat immune to fire. Damn it, Arabeth, I don't want to kill these guys.
You won't have me! You won't have me!
You notice how, even though I am epic leveled, these frost giants are giving 300 expa pop. It just says something about the level that the frost giants are. So, meanwhile, Mephistopheles' war is continuing. That's a good question, Fiendish. I'm not actually sure, Carvin. This is a good time to mention something, and Takoida actually mentioned this earlier. Something like Mephistopheles, one of the most powerful individual beings in the setting, effectively a deity, deciding to go ahead and charge through into the mortal plane en masse with an army at his back, should probably get the attention of the big fish in the setting. Sure, I can deal with that.
The bigger they are! Ah, you won't have me! You!
It's one of his attack quotes, Lord Firestorm.
The big...
Anyways, so yeah, deities should be paying attention. Elminster, Hallister would be, but he's busy, you know. Now, it is worth noting that we are, in fact, also high tier at this point. I mean, we are literally epic level. And in fact, it has been inferred before that there are literally deities which are backing us during this, and we are basically their play to get at Mephistopheles, but regardless, it is a little bit weird that we're the only ones who actually respond to this threat. So yeah, that's a Balor Lord. And it's dead. So, into the breach, dear friends. Ignore the demon spiders and the demon... All these things are... They're all fighting each other here. We don't really care, so we're just going to kind of rush through here. Actually, hang on, where are we going? This is representative of the Blood War, by the way, if you're wondering what we're looking at. I want to go... That's why you're seeing a bunch of demons and devils fighting each other. That's fine. Shakespeare's plays? I think I'm one of the only literary analysts in the world who doesn't actually like Shakespeare. I mean, they're not bad. Well, some of them are bad. But I do think they are definitely overblown.
You simply must remember...
I am a huge fan of Middle English, though.
Careful!
Yeah, exactly, Blackwell. Yeah, I know, but I don't remember why I care about throwing those. I'm just trying to get over here. Ah, here we go. That's where I want to be. But yeah, one of the biggest Archdukes of Hell is walking around the material plane, which A, shouldn't even be possible, and B, he is actively trying to rearrange the nature of the planar cosmology. That should get the attention of a lot of people. There should be many people who are already aware of it and actively doing something about it. See, that's the problem with setting any game in Forgotten Realms. This is the Lich King, the Devil Slayer of Waterdeep. Silence! Slay it or I will show you pain beyond belief. Okay. Did I say Middle English? I meant Modern English, sorry. Those start with M. Because the problem is, anytime you have... if you want to have the stakes be high, then you have to come up with some kind of reason for why it is that the actual big stakes people in the setting aren't doing anything about it, you know? Yeah, this should quite literally spark a cosmological war, what Mephistopheles is doing. If nothing else, even if the good aligned creatures don't want to do anything about this, I guarantee you Asmodeus would actually be doing something about this. Okay, Arabeth? We've only killed about 70 of these guys so far.
Careful, careful! These outside...
That's true, Carbon. As we'll talk about more when we get there. Is this just infinite? I actually don't remember. god, they actually got her. Holy crap.
Careful! These outsiders can be tricky.
Possible kill Morgan? But if the... See, that kind of goes back to my whole them backing us idea. Because if the other deities can't get involved directly, they can at least support us. But even if the deities aren't getting involved, there are plenty of high-level creatures and individuals who would be, you know, invested in Mephistopheles taking over Toril. Yeah, Old English is incomprehensible to me. I've tried. I have mistakenly called modern English Old English before, in my ignorance.
Careful! These...
Down you go. I am about to make my move and lay claim to Toril. Perhaps the Tenari have caught wind of this, for I have just received word they are launching an assault near where I've stationed you. Stray catapults fire from the battlefield has already melted through the ice and freed one of my treacherous generals. Make your way to the prison and fend off the Tenari at all costs. Tenari are demons, by the way. The last thing I need is some fool demon getting his paws on the knower of names. Serve me well, and I may grant you lordship over Waterdeep once it's mine. Where is my ring? There it is. Where are we at? There we are. Rawr, fighting, rawr. Ability damage, rawr. Oh, right. Okay.
Putting me away already, are you? So be it.
Gosh, I don't know at this point, Carbon. I honestly figured we'd already be at the dialogue cutscene, and we're not there yet when we meet the knower. Go away. Go away. That is really horrible, Kill Morgan. There she is. Suddenly the knower of names is there.
You, Donatar the Blessed, savior of Kenya, and the agent of my freedom. Long have I waited to speak your name to you to show my gratitude.
I'm sorry, do we have to have this conversation with the battle noises in the background? You must be mistaken. My name is the Lich King. By the way, the fact that she calls me Donatar the Blessed, Light of Kenya, that changes based on your alignment. And I think there's a couple other figures, but I know that it changes based on your alignment. You must be mistaken. I am the Lich King. When it comes to names, there is no mistake that I can make. It is as much my gift as it is my curse. The name you speak is the one you have given yourself. The name I speak is the one given to you by the gods. Guard it jealously, for it has cost you much. Why do you call me the Light of Kanya? She called you that? Because it's who you are, who you've always been, and who you will yet become. The gods have written it upon the stars. You bring light to the dark places, Hellwalker. I like that title. Who are you? I have been known as the knower of names amongst the tongues of men, and the devils call me the ancient Praetorian, but my true name is spoken in the tongue of power, written on the stars by the gods. Such names are valuable, and each one has a price. By freeing me, you have paid the price for your own. Thus have I spoken it for you. Okay, how long have you been imprisoned here? A long time. How long is an age in an ageless place? I can give no certain figure except to say I've been here since the false rebellion of Baron Molikroth. False rebellion? Yes, it was a plot to overthrow the one known as Mephistopheles as Lord of Canya, or so those who took part in it were led to believe. They followed the charismatic Baron Molikroth blindly to their doom. The so-called Baron was none other than Mephistopheles himself. Suspicious of dissent among his generals, he staged the rebellion that he might identify his betrayers, even amongst his closest friends. What happened to the rebels? The lower ranks were slaughtered. The rebel generals, 11 in number, were banished to this icy prison by the one known as Mephistopheles. I regret that it was I who started it. I loved him, Mephistopheles. Sorry. Really? And in an effort to protect him, I asked the gods to name any who might betray him. The names they gave me were among his closest companions. He did not believe me, and so he hatched his duplicitous plot to prove me wrong. I alone knew the truth of it. Alas, the gods do not lie. Well, in his anger, he banished me here with the rebel traitors. So, I've been pointing this out this entire time, that I have been wanting to get gold. There we go. The reason why is because you have to buy names off of her. This is the final usage of gold in the game, really. And if you want to buy every name that she has to offer, it costs 2 million gold. Now, I don't know if you guys have an understanding of how much that was, but if you were paying attention at the beginning of this Lorerun, which I started yesterday for Hordes of the Underdark, even 100,000 gold is a huge, like an absolutely gargantuan amount of money. 2 million is insane. We have 850,000 gold, and if you've been paying attention, I have been dutifully, and this is why I've been doing this the whole campaign, I have been dutifully finding and selling virtually every loot I get. Now, I have not been looting everything, obviously, because this is still a lore run, but I've been looting every enemy I have slain and most of the major chests, and I did take the whole Dragon Horde just to make the point that we don't even have half the amount of money necessary to make this happen. Now, I do want all the names, so debug mode, spawn gold, let's just make 2 million happen. Give gold to 1 2 3 1 2 3 to me. No, to me, not to Arabeth. God, happy birthday, Arabeth! Here's enough money to buy a continent. There we go. Yeah, it also is one of the reasons why appraisal is actually worth a damn in this game. One of, not the only reason, I might add. It's just one of the reasons why it's worth a damn. So, now that we have the necessary money. So, yes. Here's the names I wish to know. So the first thing I want to know is... she's fine. She's fine. I want to know... So, okay, hang on. Let's take this right back off here. Because we're still muted there. I want to know my one true love. Now, if you choose to know your one true love's name, the only name you need is Reaper's. This is mandatory to progress through the game. You have to know the Reaper's true name. Everything else is optional. All of the party members' true names helps you to convince them to join your side if you didn't work with them or, don't persuade them or whatever. Meph's true name lets you basically beat the game by talking to him. There's some other fun... Arabeth's true name lets you turn her either into a paladin or into a blackguard. Or back, actually, later on. However, this one right here, my one true love, this is funny. I already discussed the nature of how one true loves work, but in this game, within this specific games... Really, Max Beat? I didn't even know that one. This specific game randomly generates your true love. Now, people have reverse engineered this a little bit and figured out there's actually a fairly large number of people that can be your one true love. It is extremely rare that it's actually the person you are trying to romance. It is, so I'm just legitimately curious. I really want to know who we got on just pure random number generation. So my true love's name is... Here's the gold. Cassanduria the Beautiful. I actually don't know who that is. I really don't. What's Natharia's real name? Nope, she's the Sky Seeker. Deacon's real name is Ixtheria the Scale Singer. Sleeping Man's true love is Faria the Misguided. That's also the Sensei. Wow. Yes, this one is also random. Oh my god. She's dead. As I warned you, knowledge has a price. What's the sleeping man's true name while I'm at it? Silphar the Patient. Alright. What's Meph's true name? Meph's true name is Hourglass. Oh, I can't get... What? I can't get Meph's name? Well, yeah, I can. I'll just get her real name. Okay. Hang on. Let's get the Reaper's name real quick. The gods demand the artifacts? Yeah, okay, here you go. You'll notice that the Reaper's name does not cost gold. You catch that? It only requires quest items. Hekugoth the Abandoned. By the way, thank you very, very much, Hourglass. As ever, much appreciated. So, before I go any further, I want to know... hang on. Yours? Hang on. Is she not going to let me... Oh god, she's not going to let me learn her name now? Now let's get Arabeth's name. What? Don't play the fool. Leave my name to the gods, or leave them to judge me. If the world would know me at all, let it know me as Arabeth, and nothing more. Vardalia the Twin-Souled is her true name, by the way. Alright, thank you very much, Hourglass. Did I already get her name? Hang on. Aha! So, speak his true name, Phyreshi the Knower. Very well, though the gods must still have their price. Lord of the Eighth Hell is called Thraxville the Ambitious. Damn you, Hellwalker! Who's Arden Swift? I'm sorry, I actually don't remember who that is right now. Who the heck is Arden Swift? Was that the guy in the tavern that I killed? And then there's the quarry boss, for some reason. Yeah, we're good. Now, I need to remind me not to save. Or not to quick save, anyway. Whatever. Sound plan, okay. Just checking. Okay, fine, I'll get the quarry boss. His name is Gargleflaw the Vile. We'll get Arden's while we're at it, sure. Caddiswaith the Doomed. Yeah, he's freaking dead. Hey, the sleeping man. No, hang on. Okay, so let's make a regular save. I'm gonna res her. Oh, it's not gonna let me res her? Hey, the sleeping man. Silphar the Patient. He would know my train. Go ahead, I'm ready. What is it you ask of me? Abandon the quest for your one true love. You are a monster who knows not what he does. My quest is all I have. Take it away and I am nothing. I must obey your command, but may the seven heavens of Celestia judge your soul. And he dies. See around hourglass. I'm sorry. It's horrible, but I wanted to show it off. He commits suicide, Ventures. He has been commanded to stop his search, so he does. And now he can die with his one true love laying right next to him. That is messed up. I didn't even know she was one of the options for him. See, I'm just an old softy inside, really. So now let's talk to the quarry boss. Lich King, hell's devils, the clueless Burke from the world of Toril. I've been hearing tall tales about where you've been. Can I interest you in a business proposition? Yeah. Gargleflaw the Vile. You found it. I command you to be good to the end of your days. No. I want you to declare a holiday for your workers. Of course, King Day. We'll shut the quarry down, ship all the workers to the tavern, and I'll cover the tab myself. We'll make it a monthly morale-boosting social event. Goodbye, Gargleflaw. Whoops. That is so horrible. I suppose I shouldn't laugh. What Shakespeare plays do I like? Oh god, I can't even think of the name of it now. I've been in it several times as several different roles. It's Richard the something. Sixth, I want to say. Or maybe it's Henry the Sixth. God, I can't even... It's one of the ones with Falstaff. I can tell you what my least favorite Shakespearean play is, and I bet everyone in chat could, too. I command you. Oh, no, apparently not. Alright, whatever. Deacon! Deacon? Probably not Black Vial. That would be what I would call like an emergency power. Like if I needed it, kind of a thing, you know? It's like someone's about to shoot me in the face, you know. Bob the Shoot Facer. Do not shoot me in the face and never be evil again, you know. Then I'd probably do it. I command you to grant me passage home. Very well. I have summoned a door that will return you to the one you know as Durnan. But before you go, is there anything else you'd like me to do? Yes, please allow the Kistheri pilgrims to return home. And allow the spirits of the dead to haunt the living! No, I'm kidding, that's it. A word of warning before you go. By breaking the chains Mephistopheles placed upon you and stepping through that door, you forfeit the bond that brought you to this place. You will not see me again, nor lay your eyes upon the ice of Khania. It has been a pleasure to serve you. I wish you well, Sojourner. Yeah, what's up? It's all right. I'm going with you. I suppose we have no time for delay. A great evil lurks in our homeworld. We must shine Tyr's light on it. Come, let us make peace with the world. Wait, what? Why would I want to use their true names here? Oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. Thank you. If it makes you feel any better, there hasn't been any voice acting until just now. Thanks for warning me. God damn it, guys. No, my least favorite's, I can't think of the name of it all of a sudden. Romeo and Juliet, because it's a dumb play, and misunderstood by many people for many years. Okay, never mind. Deacon, I have only one thing to say to you, Deacon. Sweat beads on Durnan's face. He calls out orders, his voice almost lost in the din of battle. He seems older than you remember him. Yeah, I was dead. Well, there's some things I never understood about you, but dead or no, I'm relieved to see your face again. The priests say the archdevil Mephistopheles has been let loose on the world. Boss, that was your fault. Deacon had nothing to do with it. We fight his minions even now! Jesus Christ. Some of districts have held their own in the onslaught, but only where Mephistopheles himself hasn't joined the battle. Where's the 100,000 gold you promised me? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He will destroy us all. All realms will fall. Blessings upon those who die, for the rest will become his slaves. Nah, I got this. Your nemesis, Mephistopheles, towers above you, burning corpses all about him. This is a good time to talk about how I enjoy the main plot of this game. I know this sounds weird, but hear me out. Because, see, one of the things I love about the main plot of this game is the main plot of the previous two games. What was the plot of the first game? There's a big evil person. They're trying to use some ancient artifact to gain tons of power. What was the plot of the second game? Well, there's an evil person trying to find an artifact to gain tons of power. What was the plot of the third game? Well, there's an evil person trying to use Hallister to gain tons of power. But that was the bait and switch. For the first time, it was actually a twist, and rather than just being some evil person, the Valsharess, being like, aha, and I shall rule on high as Sultan, Mephistopheles was basically manipulating her the entire time. Now, this isn't fully clever. This is not the most well-written thing ever. But I still enjoyed the additional layers that this added to this, because basically, all of Chapter 1 and 2, which is the bulk of the game, admittedly, is all a typical Neverwinter Nights quest, and then Mephisto's like, yeah, no, sorry, my bad, this has actually all been me. Plunk, and then you'll end up in the fricking hells. Now, it is still a guy who's trying to gain power, but at least he is doing this in an intelligent way, which actually has a real honest-to-God plan, with some real honest-to-God characterization for both him and the other characters around him. In other words, it's basically the same overall thing, just better. And that's one of the things I like about this game. I just wanted to talk about that at one point. Like right here.
The fool mortal returns. Imagine my surprise at meeting you here. Last I recall, had I not trapped you for all eternity in an icy little place called Kanya.
Sorry, the hells froze over. Oh, how very witty. It's a shame you did not like dearest Kanya, really. I thought it was very gallant leaving it for you. Imagine, you could have been Lord of the Eighth. An aspiration any mortal should leap for, don't you think? Yeah, I'm sorry. What are you doing? No, that's not Michael Dorn. At least I don't think it is. I would have thought even you might have figured it out by now. I'm making bid for lordship over all the hells of Beator. All 10 hells, to be precise. There's a catch, though. You see, I've run into a bit of a stumbling block. What kind of hell should I craft out of your precious world? I mean, honestly, how does one even go about decorating a place like this? All these earth tones will just have to go. So you can say I'm here to join you, which doesn't work, by the way. You can say I'm here to come replace you. That does work. Or you can say I'm here to stop you, which is what we're actually here to do. You and what army? I dare say they seem to have run off and left you alone to face me. Pity. But I do see you brought your pretty little paladin with you. It feels like such a long time since we met last, doesn't it, dear? If I recall, you fled in tears, quite confused about your place in the world. Oh, that was then, and this is now. Lich has led me back to Tyr's blessing, and it is Tyr who I now serve. Even you and all your might dare not stand against his wrath. Tyr, you say? Ha! Well, then I presume it is Tyr's spells you wield against me? Guess again. They're my spells. I played Lich as my puppet with the Valsharess, and I did the same in Kanya. All this time you thought you were traipsing through Kanya in the name of Tyr. How quaint. Tyr abandoned you, Arabeth, and couldn't care less about you. No, that's not true. It can't be. I believed again. I could have sworn I saw beauty in the world. Blah, blah, blah. You've done quite a number on her, Lich. If it wasn't about to kill you, I might just congratulate you. You've got her twisted around your little finger. So what's it gonna be, princess? Him or me? I love you, Arabeth. That is not evil. Well, you brought me back from an icy grave, Lich. You are my rock, my touchstone, and my love. And you're right. If nothing else, I believe in you. And you can see how the Bastila thing in KOTOR kind of comes from this. Now, that was nice. This is awesome. Who is this you have with you, Lich? Not a kobold, but a veritable dragon, bristling with power. Tell me, little one, why do you chase after the Lich like some lost servant, when you could be so much more? Is you talking to Deacon? Is there any reason I wouldn't speak to you, little one? You have achieved power enough to surpass any dragon. You have achieved your potential as no other kobold has before. Yeah, by the way, Mephisto has a really high persuasion score. Keep that in mind, okay? He literally has a persuasion score in the dozens, okay? Deacon greater than Old Master? Oh, that can't be right. Of course it's right, little one. Come, join me. What has Lich done for you but hold you back from your potential? I could make you a force that all dragons would bow down to in fear. All the world would know your name, Deacon, and fear it. Deacon's eyes go wide as he thinks about the implication. But Lich's boss. Deacon not... So I could do several things here. I could do a persuade check, an intimidate check. I could use his true name. I can, spit on him, or I could say, betray me if you will, but I will miss you, Deacon. No check whatsoever. He looks at you with big soulful eyes. You would miss me, boss? Then Deacon not's going to betray you. You may be bigger than the boss, but Deacon not likes you. A mixture of surprise and anger crosses Mephistopheles' face. You dare defy me, reptile? That's right. Deacon defies you. Deacon stands by the boss to the end. I love that! I want to stress that this little kobold not only successfully saved against his persuasion check because he was just that much of a bro, but also pretty much flat out mouthed off to the Archduke of the 8th Hell. Some people ask me why I like Deacon so much, and I have given many answers to this, but this is the only scene I really need to give for why Deacon is awesome.
Try what you might. You cannot stop me, mortal. I know you far too well.
So, this is when you can use his true name to completely screw him over forever. Actually, I did, Ventures. He just didn't grow the wings. I'm not sure why. Now, as much as I'd love to do that, I really want to just beat the crap out of this guy. Fight me. Coward.
Go now.
Oh no, an ice beast. You're right, I should be like, I use your true name to command you to fight me. Yeah, I might ask why I went ahead and went with the romance option with Arabeth. Don't worry, I will actually explain that. Hi, Meph. How are things? How's the wife and kids?
Careful! He's outside.
He has a lot of health, by the way. In the hundreds of hundreds. Yeah, by the way, if you fail the persuasion check, Deacon still goes with you. In fact, I'm not actually I'm not actually sure if it is within the realm of possibility for Deacon to betray you. I'm really not sure of any way for Deacon to betray you. Oh yeah, by the way, immune to fire!
I used to summon...
For Neverwinter!
By the way, I just want to point out that this guy has a ludicrous amount of damage reduction. I think he has 45 damage reduction. I could be wrong about that. There's ways to pierce it, of course, but that means I have to be doing more than 45 damage a hit without piercing it in order to be able to do something.
I can fight you no more.
Yeah, that's called losing, Mephistopheles.
You come before a Duke of Hell. It appears you have been my downfall, mortal. I underestimated you. Next time I won't make the same mistake.
Return to Kanya. Never come back.
Banished to Kenya. Home and exile all at once. Very well. You have fought me fair and spared my life. I will abide by your decree. Farewell, mortal. You have seen your last of me.
So this is the first real time that BioWare did the BioWare ending, which is the epilogue thing, which they ended up using in basically every game after this point, to some extent or another.
And so the tale is done, in the lore of an age that was famed for its heroes as well as its villains. Your legend will live on. Scribes will read of your deeds in dusty tomes, and marvel that ever there was a time where such an adventurer walked the face of Toril. It is said that the great archdevil Mephistopheles collapsed into dust and existed no more. The world shuddered with his passing, and all grew still for a time, but bringing an end to such beings is rarely so simple. Some tales claim that Mephistopheles could never be completely destroyed on the material plane. They say his will lived on, and out of a desire for vengeance, his body was eventually reformed on the outer planes. A day of reckoning was sure to follow someday, though that is another tale.
Yeah.
Knowing how the tale ends, however, is only part of the story. There is evidence in the old tomes that tell of your fate in the years to come, the fate of your companions, and the effect your passing had upon the world.
From the ashes of the Devil's Gambit, Waterdeep rose again, rebuilt and renewed with the fervor of a vast and bustling city. Its place its place as the Jewel of Faerun reclaimed. Reunited with his family, Durnan restored the yawning portal to former glory. He hung a portrait of you on the mantelpiece and told your tale to all who sought the fire's warmth. As for Linu, she finally returned to her home city of Avreska. The temple there, dedicated to Sayanine Moonbow, at long last forgave her for the accidents of the past, and granted her the title of High Priestess. It only took a month for her to reduce the temple to ruins, by accident of course, and she returned to Waterdeep once more. There she was said to have been a force of good in troubled times, guiding its citizens with a sense of justice and diplomacy that, as was once noted by the sage Elminster, held all the grace her feet did not. Deep in the Underdark, in the wake of your passing, the wake of your passing is still felt. The seer survived Mephistopheles' pillage of the region, and became renowned as a leader of her people. Her followers still scour the depths for drow seeking to escape the despair and treachery of their life, bringing those they find to a new existence on the surface. The task is not an easy one, however, as the drow matrons constantly send assassins into the fold. But the seer still survives and names you in her prayers. Amongst her... So I've got another new follower. Amongst her and her followers, you are remembered as a friend to all those who sought solace from the shadows. With the death of the Overmind, the Illithids fell easy prey to the treachery of their so-called allies. The alliance between the Illithid and the Drow died with the Valsharess. It was not long before all at the outpost were enslaved to rival Drow houses, their psionic powers tightly controlled, while the rest of their race continued their previous doctrine of war against lesser creatures. Freed from both the priesthoods... You see the Dragon Age Origins thing here? I mean, look at this. Freed from both the priesthood's brutal rule and the wrath of the Draco Lich, Vixthra, the community of the Drearing's Deep struggled mightily to provide a refuge amongst the many evil races of the Underdark. Countless village leaders died in battle, though their spirit was never broken. Rumors spoke of an addled but kind-hearted rock gnome who served as the community's true leader, masterminding its strategies from behind the scenes. Whatever the case, the freemen of During's Deep survived their battle after battle, until in time the city became a veritable fortress, a bastion of hope for those yet enslaved, and a proud beacon of freedom for those who had recently escaped. As for Kanya, little changed. Devils continued to mine their ice for the walls of Mephistar. The spirits of the dead continue to arrive and slowly join the ranks of the lost. And the vast glacial wastes continue to hold the knowers and their secrets close, buried deep beneath glacial ice. As for the sleeping man, there are few who mourned his passing. The Celestials had long since forgotten him, and little love was held for him in Beator. On the far-off plane of Limbo, some Githzeri still try to live by his teachings. He is remembered best, perhaps, by the bards who sing your tale. To them, he is a tragic figure who gambled everything and lost in the name of love. Whoops. The ghost of Arabeth de Tilmarand never grew old. She never lost her beauty nor did her passion fade. You loved each other until you yourself became old and gray, and in your dying breath you promised you would meet her on the other side. Arabeth wept with your passing, and then she herself faded from the world. Legend claims she met you once more in the next life, as promised, and your love continues on in your adventures. And that's why I accepted a romance with her, because that way she actually gets a happy ending. Basically, the two of us end up in the same outer plane after dying, and then, keep going on. Deacon, who was the best character ever, Deacon would go on to become a legendary bard and adventurer in his own right, occasionally joining you in your exploits, and often getting caught up in his own. He has lived a good life in Waterdeep with his friends, becoming ever famous and gaining a sense of confidence he'd always lacked. He eventually returned as a celebrated hero to his former tribe in the Nether Mountains, however, becoming their first true diplomat and greatest chieftain. He led his tribe out of hiding and negotiated the founding of a permanent mixed-race settlement, with a human farming community grateful for the protection they would offer. This unique community of kobolds became a valued bridge between the various groups of beasts and men who had once known each other only in battle, but now sought peace. Deacon's eventual passing was mourned by all, although you can be sure his legacy will live on in a new generation of scale singers, eager to find their own adventures just as their father did before them. The Lich King. When all was said and done, and an end put to the fiendish plans of Mephistopheles' goddamn monuments to your victory were erected throughout the world of Toril. Over time, tales of your heroism grew into legends and then into myths. It is said you walked the plains, and some say you still walk them, sowing seeds of goodness and hope wherever you go. Yet not as all so well with you. For when you commanded Mephistopheles, you had placed your trust in a devil's word. You used no true name to bind him, nor did you extinguish the fire that was his life. To the end of your days, you possessed a certainty that somewhere in the vastness of the plains, the Archdevil is licking his wounds and waiting for you, plotting his revenge. You watch and wait for that day to come, and when it does, you know you'll have to fight him to the end! The end. Hang on. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I've come to stop you. Nope, she's with me. Sorry. Nope, Deacon's with me.
Try what you might. You cannot stop me, mortal. I know you far too well.
Really? Well, Thrafaxel the Ambitious, I command you to stop this carnage.
My true name? You've commanded me. Where did you learn it? Oh, but I must obey. What is it you wish of me, Master? How must I serve you?
So you can actually command him to fight you, by the way. But I'm commanding you to return to Kanya and remain there forever. Bye.
Thank you, Master. Thank you for your mercy. May frozen Kanya be my home forevermore.
The end. Last boss fight. I told you I'd show it the other way. So then we go through this thing again. Slightly different. This is actually just a room with special effects in it, and the camera just moves around it. It's actually rather clever.
And so it is knowing.
So Waterdeep does this. Linu does this. She's awesome. We don't really know what happens to Nathira. We do know what happens to the Illithids. Oh no, you're right, Carbon. That's not a dialogue boss. That's a I win button. Still terrifying. Still dead. Still awesome. Still the best character in the games. The end, because there's no follow-through because we used his true name to bind him. There's one other way to go that I'm just going to show that off real quick. Which is this one. Don't worry, this won't take long.
Ah, the fool mortal.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. I command you to die. No, a dialogue boss should be an entire encounter of having to maneuver through the dialogue. Honestly, the best example of a dialogue boss I've ever seen, I actually pointed out during the KOTOR Lorerun. It's when you talk to the droid, the not HK.
And so, in knowing...
In, God, I can't think of the name, but the space station. Linu does her thing. Nothing's really changed. Everything is awesome. Except for those things that are gross. No, not Scion, the droid. Although Scion, I guess, counts too. Okay, so we did it. And you notice Mephistopheles is just gone. So, the end. In other words, if you command him to die, he doesn't just go back or reconstitute. He cessates. Which technically makes that overall the best option here. Yeah. Now, the canon ending is obvious. Oh my god. The canon ending is you fighting him and defeating him, and he goes back. Because Mephistopheles is still there, and is still in the ninth hell, or excuse me, the eighth hell, excuse me. And all that. If you've commanded him to fight, it's just back to the fight, and then you go the fight route, that's all. Funnily enough, though, even though this character, the main character of this game, is arguably a huge mover and shaker in the world, nothing is ever really seen of them again. My own personal headcanon, yeah, I could see that too, Overlord. My own personal headcanon is that this character, and I know Carbon's going to be kind of joking about this, but for real, I think my character basically became, strong enough to make his own dimension. Maybe not at the deity level, but basically, he crafted his own plane and effectively retired there. With Arabeth, obviously. Regardless, that has been Hordes of the Underdark. Tomorrow, we will go ahead and be starting the next game, our second to last game for this one, Neverwinter Nights 2. So I hope you all have enjoyed thus far, and I do hope to see you next time. But right now, I need to go collapse. I have streamed way too long today. 9 hours and 10 minutes. Oh. See you tomorrow, guys.